The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Officers charged with extortion attempt. The matter stems from that CID corruption probe. The Attorney General says the government won't move forward with the marital rape legislation. And the Economic Affairs Minister says former Prime Minister Minnis had the opportunity to do what he now says should be done on that. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, January 31st, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, my special guest co-host, Ricardo Wells, will be joining us. Also this morning in business, we're talking with Easy Car Sales about their exclusive now authorized dealer status for BYD and their special Fall in Love with BYD event for February, and a whole lot more with them coming up. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, 4 policemen accused of attempting to extort money from a suspect. The charges against Chavez, Sawyer, Benson Miller, Nelson Miller, and D'Angelo Rolls stem from a corruption probe that was sparked by leaked recordings last July. The calls were allegedly between Michael Fox Jr., who was wanted for questioning about the theft of $1.475 million from an armored car that was left unattended at the Nassau airport. CID had Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson and Fox's lawyer Bjorn Ferguson. Prosecutors contended that the officers on November 3rd, 2023, unlawfully demanded money from Akil Holmes, a former employee of the Armored Car Company, who was subsequently charged with the theft. The officers, who've been interdicted, have pleaded not guilty. Magistrate Cara DeVoe set bail at $8,000 each and adjourned the matter to April 7th for trial. The men appeared before the magistrate after 4 p.m. yesterday, although their arraignment was scheduled for noon. Due to the delay, defense lawyer Calvin Seymour asked the magistrate to consider allowing the men to go home and return to court today if their bail wasn't approved before the court closed. DeVoe denied the request and said the officers would be kept nearby. Meanwhile, Johnson, Ferguson, and Roll were served with a voluntary bill of indictment that sent their case to the Supreme Court when they appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley on Thursday. Johnson is accused of stealing $90,000 from homes and conspiring to commit bribery with Fox, whom he also allegedly helped to avoid due process. Ferguson is accused of acting as an accessory after the fact by allegedly helping Fox avoid due process, and Roll is accused of abetting the theft that Johnson allegedly committed. They're scheduled to appear before Justice Gregory Hilton on February 21st for arraignment. Attorney General Ryan Pinder says that he does not believe the Davis administration will move forward with an amendment to criminalize marital rape because of the fear that that party may lose votes in an election. In 2022, the Office of the Attorney General drafted an amendment to the Sexual Offenses Act that would repeal Section 3 of the current law by removing the words "who is not a spouse" from the definition of rape. However, aside from a few public consultations, there's been no movement on the bill. Pinder, who was the featured speaker during the legal week at University of the Bahamas, was asked if the government is minded to bring the bill before the end of the term. Pinder said, quote, "I don't think so." He also said, quote, "I think you would have heard the panel discuss the political impacts on that. Asked whether there is a concern about losing votes, the Attorney General said, quote, "I think every administration in the history of the Bahamas who has put this on the table and had it in front of it is worried about the same issue. There's nothing unique about this. There's a reason that no administration has passed it, and every single administration that drafted a bill, every single one." Following his comments, Pinder said that based on consultations, it was clear that there wasn't a consensus and more education and consultation was necessary. Minister of Economic Affairs Michael Halkitis shooting back at criticisms from former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, who earlier this week renewed a call for the government to remove all taxes from food. Minnis said that while he supports the Davis administration's plans to cut value-added tax on food in grocery stores by 50%, the measure does not go far enough. Well, Halkitis says that Minnis, now in opposition, had a lot of ideas about lowering taxes, but when he served as prime minister, he raised VAT by 60%. Halkitis says that the Davis administration's plan to reduce VAT on food came after careful planning and gains in the economy. He said the tax reduction will not be offset by a hike in other areas. And Social Services Information Broadcasting Minister Miles LaRota refuting a claim by St. Anne's MP Adrian Dwight that ZNS's trip to cover the inauguration of U.S. President Donald Trump cost over $200,000. In a communication in the House of Assembly, LaRota said the trip had a total cost of $20,757.29 and was fully covered by sponsors whom he did not name. A 33-year-old barber denied bail after he was charged with murder. Prosecutors allege that Philip Martin of Soldier Road fatally shot 39-year-old Gibson Desir outside of Gordo's liquor store on Cowpen Road on January 24th. Martin was not required to enter a plea to the murder charge when he made his initial appearance before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. He was remanded into custody, and the matter was adjourned to April 24th for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. Martin will have to seek bail from the Supreme Court. And more from Attorney General Ryan Pinder. He foreshadowed an amendment to the Firearms Act that will have a focus on 3D printed guns and ghost guns and a complete redraft of the penal code. He said the new Firearms Act will soon be brought forward. He said the present Firearms Act was enacted in 1969 with numerous piecemeal amendments, saying, quote, "Times have changed in the Bahamas. Firearm technology has advanced, and sadly, we have not kept abreast of either. The new Firearms Bill 2024 will have a much wider coverage of illegal firearms, including gun kits and assembling firearms, as well as production of 3D firearms." Overseas, Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, labeling them as terrorists on national television, plucked from pharmacies, apartment buildings, and other locations and thrown in prison for months. Many then endured severe beatings, food deprivation, and other forms of torture. Virtually all developed stomach infections and lost weight. 3 died. That's more than 2,200 people who were detained after Venezuela's July presidential election. when civil unrest broke out over Maduro's claim to victory. With dissent firmly squelched, the government has slowly released nearly 1,900 of the mostly poor, politically unaffiliated 20-somethings. Tearful reunions with family, some as recently as Friday, have brought them an immense sense of relief, but it vanishes with the realization that they're not truly free, neither physically or mentally. That collision between an American Airlines passenger jet and an Army helicopter near Washington, D.C. that killed 67 people, bringing renewed focus on the federal agency charged with investigating aviation disasters. National Transportation Safety Board Chairwoman Jennifer Homendy describing the investigation into the crash Wednesday night as an all-hands-on-deck event. The NTSB is an independent federal agency responsible for investigating all civil aviation accidents, as well as serious incidents in the U.S. involving other modes of transportation. For the crash on Wednesday, the NTSB will establish several different working groups, we're told, each responsible for investigating different areas connected to the accident. In sports, Bahama's taking a big step in securing its place in the international boxing arena with the formation of the World Boxing Federation of the Bahamas, the new organization backed by the Bahamas Olympic Committee, marking a pivotal moment for Bahamian boxers. The creation of the federation comes in the wake of the International Combat Organization's decision to recognize the International Boxing Association, the IBA, formerly known as the AIBA. The IBA has been the governing body for amateur boxing worldwide, but has faced criticism over governance issues. Bahamas Boxing Federation President Vincent Strachan. Speaking about this, you can read his comments in today's Guardian Sports section. Bahamian judokas Daniel and Alexander Strachan achieving remarkable victories at the 2025 New Jersey Judo Open at the Hudson County School of Technology in New Jersey, securing gold medals in their respective divisions. The brothers, coached by USA National Olympic coach Colton Brown, getting some big wins, as we said, with Alexander competing in the 91-kilogram division and Daniel in the 81-kilogram division, both winning gold medals. Details in today's Guardian Sports section. And University of the Bahamas freshman Samuel Corbin leading a three-member team for the UB Mingo's track and field team at the 5th Red Line Athletics event. The Red Line Athletics Sonia Knowles Track and Field Classic. Corbin and fellow thrower Rashad Evans and sprinter Markel Newbold seeing action. Corbin picking up the victory in the under-20 boys shot put, securing the win with a best throw of 12.88 meters. And the NFL says it will look into allegations that Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker behaved inappropriately towards a massage therapist or a number of massage therapists at 4 spas and wellness centers in the Baltimore area. The Baltimore Banner detailing the accusations in a lengthy report Thursday. The paper said it spoke to 6 massage therapists who recounted firsthand experiences with Tucker from 2012 to 2016. Several therapists said they ended Tucker's sessions early or refused to work on him again, and managers from 2 spas said they banned him from returning. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, we've got an expansive area of high pressure centered just north of Bermuda, coupled with a dry air mass nestled across the Bahamas. That's going to continue to support stable and warm conditions while keeping rain chances below normal for the last day of January heading into February. Fresh to locally strong breezes will continue to temporarily move across the Bahamas as the system accelerates northeastwards towards the Azores through tonight. So the influence of that surface ridge will weaken as the high pulls further away from the North Atlantic or into the North Atlantic, allowing for a frontal boundary to meander just north of Grand Bahama and Abaco beginning on Saturday. That system may introduce some occasionally cloudy periods, along with a few light sprinkles across portions of the northern islands as the winds gradually diminish over the area for the remainder of the weekend. So heading into the work week, expect seasonably warmer conditions with occasional pulses of brisk breezes. We've got a near gale watch in effect for the southeast Bahamas, and there's a high risk of rip currents along eastern, southern, and Atlantic shorelines. Beachgoers and swimmers are urged to remain onshore while in these areas. For today, for the northern and northwest Bahamas, mostly sunny, turning mostly fair tonight. Less than a 10% chance of showers. Pretty much the same for the central Bahamas and a mix of sun and clouds, turning mostly fair tonight for the southeast Bahamas. Still about only a 10% chance of showers. Look for high temperatures around 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 64 Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have more on your weekend forecast and the start of the work week in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of
You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing today's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Alpha Sounds Promotion presents Back to Love, an unforgettable evening of smooth R&B vibes and cherished memories. Join us at the Nassau Cruise Port on Saturday, February 15th for a spectacular all-white affair featuring live performances by soul sensations Freddie Jackson,
Hey everybody, it's Freddie Jackson. I'm coming to Nassau, Bahamas, and we are looking forward to the night of love.
also performing Regina Bell. Also featuring Bahamas' very own Essence Band. Back to Love. Saturday, February 15th. It's a spectacular all-white affair at the Nassau Cruise Port. Get tickets online. BahamasEtickets.com. Plantation Bar and Grill. Big Boys and Tropics Bar and Grill. For more info, contact 822-6863.
And I hope to see you there.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village. Or call 396-1100.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also in your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Float Channel 612, though there seems to be some issues with the radio stations on BTC. And we're making an appeal to BTC to get the radio stations together. I'm not sure what's going on, but you can always listen to us on our apps or on our website. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. I've got a special guest co-host today, Ricardo Wells from the 10th year seniors.
You got the name right, so that's perfect. But I feel like that's a big selling point. A special guest co-host.
It's what it is.
I feel like I've been called up to the big leagues. I've been in AAA for a while.
Now.
I'm
See,
up in the big spot.
He's talking sports lingo there because he's one of the hosts of The Accredited here on Saturdays, one of the best radio sports shows, radio talk shows in the country.
I think Naughty would have a problem with us saying the best, but I'm going to vouch
I said
for
one of
my
the
group.
best, but in the leagues with the best.
Yes, definitely.
And it's a fantastic show, Saturdays, 11 o'clock right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us more about the show for those who might not be familiar.
So you can't really just start with the show. You have to start with the group. So the group is about 5 or 6 guys. We say all 6 because people come in and out, so we always leave that last spot available. But the premise of the group was literally to try and push and further our local sports. When we came up, we understood the need for more sports coverage for kids trying to get off to the U.S. and so on and so forth. So what we decided to do is try to shine a spotlight on it. So the group was initially started with 2 brothers and a friend of theirs, and they over time brought a bunch of us in just to assist with not only content, but trying to, again, draw more attention. So things really took off around the time of Buddy's move to Oklahoma.
Because I always wondered about that name.
Yes. So the premise of the name has a lot to do with college sports.
Right.
So the longer you play in college, you build up more years. So you have, in some instances, especially with the NIL deals going on, a lot of kids that are in their 6th and 7th and 8th year of eligibility. So when they get to that point, you hear the term, he's an 8-year senior. So we got to the point where nobody would ever hit 10. So that's where it was kind of spun from. But moving on from that point, what we decided to do is kind of double down and understand our place in the community. What we did was try to, again, bring the content of local high school sports to the masses. So that's when we shift to the social media platforms like Facebook, X, and so on to try and get persons to pay more attention. So I think, again, we took another step further a few years back with BISS track and field. We did a coverage of the Hugh Campbell. We did some coverages of GSSA major basketball games. And since then, we've just been trying to find sponsorship and support by the government to see if we could create more of a bigger network to allow more persons to access sports, whether it's via your cell phone or via YouTube or whatever. You could just jump on board and try to support from there. So we're on all major social media platforms. We just want persons to support the pages and support the content.
That is great stuff. Great stuff. And you've been on with us for about, 3 months
3 months now.
Yeah.
So, and we've seen a tremendous growth from that standpoint because initially when we started, a lot of people were just used to the podcast element. So we had to button it up a bit, as we like to say in our workshop meetings, get the suit and tie on and try to streamline the way we speak about these things. So, being on Guardian Radio, a lot more of the political element has crept in. We try to keep that off on the podcast end and just focus
that's
on the
unfortunate.
Content. It's the Bahamas. There's a sprinkle of politics in everything that you do. So we've been battling with that the last couple of months, trying to get that going.
Yikes. Hey, but we're looking forward to great stuff from you here on Guardian Radio and beyond. So keep up the great work. And again, we'll tune in tomorrow morning at 11.
This weekend, we're going to focus on what happened during the NFL Conference Championships.
Yeah.
Of course, the Chiefs surprisingly found a way to beat the Buffalo Bills.
Surprisingly? Okay.
And then, the Washington Redskins came up. Well, can't say Redskins. There again.
Oh, boy.
The Washington Commanders.
You look too young to remember that.
Oh, no. Trust me. It's a whole thing going on. But the Commanders came up just short against the Philadelphia Eagles. So the Eagles and the Chiefs are going to have a rematch from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're going to focus on that, try to build up the hype behind it.
I was going to ask you later in the show, but I might as well ask you now. Who's winning this?
Well, I'm a Patriot fan at heart, so I can't because of that.
Oh,
yes, definitely. Because of that, I can't get behind the Patrick Mahomes hype train. So I'm definitely going to support the Eagles despite the fact that they beat us in the Super Bowl a couple of years back. But definitely, I think it's going to be a good game. Me and drive over at 10YS, Ronaldo, he's very pro-black quarterback, so he's super excited because this is one of those rare occasions where you have two black quarterbacks playing in the Super Bowl. But I'm definitely going to go ahead and support the Philadelphia Eagles in this move.
I'm going
and hopefully they get it done.
With the Chiefs because I want to see the three-peat. Just the history of it.
That's exactly the problem I have.
Yeah?
Shout out Pat Riley. He has the legal documents to support the quote-unquote three-peat movement. So I think the Chiefs are going to go with the Chiefs-peat or something like that.
Oh!
Yes. So
is that right?
It's a whole ordeal.
Okay.
But tune in tomorrow and we'll get into all of that.
Good stuff. All right, so we got a lot to talk about on the show this morning. Later in business, we've got Easy Car Sales. They made a major announcement a few weeks ago about being the exclusive, not just the authorized, but the exclusive BYD dealer here. And they got a big event for February, so all of that's coming up in business.
There's a lot of competition in that space now.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Well, we're going to get into all of that later, but right now let's talk about what else is in the news. And in the news, a big headline in the Nassau Guardian today: officers charged with extortion attempt. This is
bizarre.
Well, stemming from that CID corruption probe. So it's getting bigger and bigger.
There's so many layers to unpack with this story, and I think every day it grows more bizarre.
What's that cake that has all those What was it? That's a dessert.
Yeah.
That's all those. Yeah. Oh man.
I think you can
It
go
was
up to
it.
I think it's a 3-layer cake or something, and then it keeps piling on from there.
So Artesia Davis writes today, 4 policemen on Thursday afternoon accused of attempting to extort money from a suspect. The charges against Chavez, Sawyer, Benson Miller, Nelson Miller, and D'Angelo Roll stem from a corruption probe that was sparked by leaked recordings last July. The calls were allegedly between Michael Fox Jr., who was wanted for questioning about the theft of $1.475 million from an armored vehicle that was left unattended at Nassau Airport, and between CID head Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson and Fox's lawyer Bjorn Ferguson. So prosecutors contended that the officers on November 3rd, 2023, unlawfully demanded money from Akil Holmes, a former employee of the armored car company, who was subsequently charged with the theft. The officers who have been interdicted have pleaded not guilty. Magistrate Cara DeVoe set bail at $8,000 each and adjourned the matter to April 7th for trial. The men appeared before the magistrate after 4 p.m., although their arraignment was set for
12.
noon.
Yeah.
Now, due to the delay, defense lawyer Calvin Seymour asked the magistrate to consider allowing the men to go home and return to court today.
Convenient.
If their bail wasn't approved before the court closed.
Surprising.
They do that for other people? You ever heard that before?
I mean, in some circumstances, but
get a shower, have a
that's where
nice
the
dinner.
sprinkle of politics comes
Nice.
in.
DeVoe denied that request, though, and said the officers would be kept nearby. Meanwhile, Johnson, Ferguson, and Roll were served with a voluntary bill of indictment that sent their case to the Supreme Court when they appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley on Thursday. Johnson is accused of stealing $90,000 from Holmes and conspiring to commit bribery with Fox, whom he allegedly helped to avoid due process. Ferguson is accused of acting as an accessory after the fact by allegedly helping Fox avoid due process, and Roll is accused of abetting the theft that Johnson allegedly committed. They're scheduled to appear before Justice Gregory Hilton on February 21st for arraignment.
See, this is where I say the story gets bizarre. Because if I remember correctly, former police officer Michael what was he charged with initially?
Stealing.
Okay.
Stealing from Holmes.
But these officers were the ones charged with attempted bribery or bribery.
Extortion, they're calling it.
Okay.
But yes, yeah. So, I mean, but it's
in
all...
the recordings that we heard, Officer Johnson was the one carrying out the conversation.
So it seems that they're being accused of after this doing some things.
But I remember Officer Johnson being charged with the bribery element. That's what I'm trying to get at here. So this is where it becomes a bit bizarre because we heard him in the recordings.
Right.
We didn't hear anything about these officers, but they are the ones being...
So stuff happened post-recording, apparently. We'll find out more in the court when it goes to court. It seems that after all of that, there was a whole lot more going on.
But two were fast-tracked with a VBI straight to the Supreme Court.
Well, it's been a few weeks since they were charged. But yeah, they're going there. They're going to get their day in court first, it seems. So this is going to be an interesting year.
Okay.
A very interesting year. We'll keep you posted on that. All right, so there's a whole lot more in the papers today, but I just wanted to mention this. So apparently, have you heard about this? There's big stuff going on in Grand Bahama this weekend. When's the election supposed to be?
It's supposed to be next year, but I think we're ratcheting up the temperature a bit.
It really seems so. So the PLP apparently having some big rallies this weekend in Grand Bahama. And there are flyers going around. Keep your eyes fixed on 2026. Is that supposed to rhyme? Keep your eyes fixed.
I love our people so much.
I mean, it's the Bahamas. You could have said fix, right? Keep your eyes fixed.
I'm
on
trying to
2026.
figure out exactly what's the end goal of this event this weekend.
And well, I don't know. We wanted. Do you want to know? You could go. You could go if you wanted to know. So this is going to be in the Grand Lucaia. So the Prime Minister is scheduled to speak, as is the Deputy Prime Minister.
Right.
And I saw another flyer with a bunch of other names as well. I'm curious because Grand Bahama is quite a place to be having a rally when there's so many questions.
But they've been soft launching their upcoming campaign initiatives the last couple of weeks with, I think there was a grill and chill at some point in Golden Gates. Then there was a town forum or town hall meeting.
Branch meetings
right.
and stuff.
So
yeah.
it's been slowly building up. But I'm trying to figure out specifically, is the target audience Grand Bahama this go around because of the infighting with the F&M? So you could sort of offset what's going on with that, with the idea
that's
that,
an
hey,
interesting theory.
I'm just saying, it looks
I'm wondering, because we've been promised that we'd hear about the hotel. We've been promised that we'd know more about the airport. I think they forgot that they said they were going to buy the Royal Oasis. You remember that? No one's talked about that in, I feel it's been more than a
the hope
year.
is always the real stuff we don't focus on. They're having a big party this weekend. We should all be there.
Maybe there'll be announcements on what they've accomplished finally. And we'll find out all the many people who are interested in buying the Grand Lucaya. We'll finally
just be
meet
announcements of potential candidates.
But soon.
Yeah.
And that.
They're going to leave the real stuff until we get closer or right after, if they're successful in being reelected. That's when I'm going to deal with the real stuff.
So, I mean, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They might be making announcements. But can you imagine if they don't? Like,
I'm leading to them not making any announcement.
You're just here to rile people up?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why. That's the point of a rally.
But everyone's flying in to that airport that needs major help.
You're going to have to show full force support in Grand Bahama.
They're staying at the hotel that they can't sell.
Yeah. That's the reason they're staying at it.
They have to drive by the other hotel that has been sitting there for 2 decades.
All right? It all comes together. It's the perfect scenario. This is... The look on your face is priceless.
Something's going to happen. Big announcements. I believe it.
Fingers crossed, toes crossed.
Faith. Yeah, you got to tie all the crabs
not
together.
Like that.
No?
Not like that.
What do you think's going on, folks? The Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister, they're all going to be there this weekend in Grand Bahama.
Happy that they're together, though. 'Cause, a few days back, there was some speculation that it could be
that's just
deputy.
mischief. That's just mischief.
I like the way we label that.
Mischief makers. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Twice strong with my special guest co-host today, Ricardo Wells from The Accredited on Saturdays here on Guardian Radio. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Yes, good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Mr. Ricardo Wells.
Yes, it is. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Dwight, do you remember, first I can start with the hotel, right? This is only my view. The reason why that hotel will never be sold in the very near future, especially...
Never?
No, I'm telling you, because our governments, right, our political administrations like the PLP and the F&M, the world watching them, Dwight. Now, this hotel they was trying to sell this hotel from the F&M, right? Every time you hear them announce that, we're going to sell this in 2 weeks, in 1 week, and nothing happened. Then the PLP came in power, right? And I think it was 3 months ago when Mr. Prime Minister said 2 weeks' time he can be coming back to us with a buyer, right? That's 3 months ago, right? But let me break it down to you. Sarkis is billion, right? There's going to be no buyer for that hotel, right? Because those people, they're friends with Sarkis. They can't take the chance being swindled or allegedly.
This is a big reach.
Or they can't take that chance. So our governments are in such a core.
What are you saying? They're going to try to give Sarkis the Grand Lucayan? What do you say?
No. I'm saying because what Sarkis and CCA went through in the international community really relates to hotel inside this country.
Oh, you say that's going to cause people to not want to buy. I see what you're saying.
Right?
Okay.
People looking. But right now, when it comes to Grand Bahama, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's campaign mode, man. And it ain't have nothing to do with the F&M. What's going on in Grand Bahama? They have a new kid on the block, and the PLP knows it, and it's called the COI, and that's why that's why it's going on the way it's going on, because the people in Grand Bahama is not interested, like most payments in this country are not interested in the PLP and the FLM because they didn't prove to us that they are not serious when it comes to governing in this country. You guys have a nice day.
Before you go, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Did I miss something about the Royal Oasis? Remember they said they were going to buy that. What did I? Maybe I was on vacation. I don't know. You remember what was the last thing you heard about that?
The last thing I heard about the Royal Oasis, Dwight, is that they were speaking to somebody, and they would have been announcing a new buyer. Right? That's the last.
No. They were going to buy it. They're going to buy that one. You're talking about the Grand Lucayan.
Yeah.
They said they were going to buy the Royal Oasis because they were going to make a new road between or something.
Yeah. You mean that one?
That one.
Right.
We got a bunch of hotels that need to be bought.
About that one from the last time they spoke about transferring a road through the property and stuff like that. I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
But I think the call is a
Thank
bit
you very
spot
much.
on with his analysis on the government's meddling in these sorts of issues. It does sour the taste of persons wanting to buy into a market like the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Because that's going to come with it. So that could be a challenge in the process of trying to sell both properties, the one that they've not yet even acquired fully yet. So.
My goodness. Wow. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, President. Pleasant day to you both.
Same to you. Good morning.
All the coming up.
Good morning.
You have a very good guest there. I'm sorry that I'm unable to watch it, listen to his show on the weekend because of religious affairance.
No, but you can always go back on the website and listen to it anytime you want.
I love his general speaking, seemingly objective and so on. Yes. No. Regarding the different events that the government is having, rally event, that word rally is a nice word, it rallies up the crowd. But I think we need to get to a point where all the parties need to upgrade now from rally to town hall discussions, interaction with the people, and rather than tell people what's coming up on or what to be offered, the people can say what we actually need.
Wow. I mean,
but,
they'd have to care for that.
Yeah. To know what's going on, you need to be...
Regular political meetings is a lot of talking, so that could turn off a few. So that's why the rally is always the easiest.
Right. You just listen. You don't have to listen to you.
Scream a couple of times, play some music.
Say some keywords.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what our audience likes. So.
Keep them out. Stay out. And then everyone screams. Yeah.
To know what's going on, you need to attend. And I'm so sorry. I missed an event on Tuesday night because I thought it was Thursday night. Because I like to be there, to hear everything live and direct,
Yeah.
But I won't be going to Grand Bahama because that's a bigger one, and it will be costly to travel.
You're gonna miss the big show, apparently.
Guaranteed.
Maybe they'll live stream it. Or
I
something.
just was about to say, you guaranteed to see something on social media.
Oh my goodness. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi. Good morning.
Man, what's going on?
We're right here.
Good morning to you and your guest, Mr. Wells. Listen, man, Dwight, we need to start to have a real conversation with the Bahamas. Now, we need to stop complaining and offer solutions. I'm a descendant from Freeport, Grand Bahama. And let me tell you something, Dwight. When I grew up in the 80s, well, listen, Dwight, Freeport was the magic city. You talking about the International Bazaar booming, businesses open. Port Lucaya, businesses open. The Princess Casino, business booming. The Country Yard, business. My problem is the Port Authority and the government, they need to stop this pride thing. They playing this pride game. And they need to put their differences aside. All Freeport need right now, the infrastructure is there, Dwight.
It is.
The infrastructure is immaculate. It's there. They need to improve tourism. They need to find out that they can improve the airlifts to Freeport, bring in more visitors to Freeport.
Well, the thing is, the people when they go there say there's nothing for them to do.
So there is clearly airlift.
Dwight, no.
No, you think
Dwight,
there's something to do?
I'm telling you.
I mean, I don't know if there's much to do there.
No, The White.
You go
have
for a couple
everything
days.
that you do on those family islands. You have everything that you do in Nassau. Everything is right there in Freeport. The White, I'm telling you the problem. The problem is tourism. We need more visitors there. And so what we have to do, we have to build a new airport.
Okay, so seriously, tell me what is there to do other than go to plenty restaurants and bars and the beach.
Okay, let me tell you what you can do. We have beaches.
Okay.
Our tourists love beaches.
Okay, well,
Okay?
I mean, you
We have
don't
that.
need to go to 20 different beaches.
Okay,
in
what
2
else
days.
we have? We have, I think they have a worldwide scuba place over in Freeport. UNESCO. I don't know if you remember UNESCO. Tourists love that. Plus, they have places, local places where tourists. It's the same thing in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
We sell sun, and sea, and we sell ourselves hospitality.
Oh, we sell it across like
selling
5
yourselves. And see, that's part of the problem too. But I mean, okay, that list, we could do that anywhere.
Dwight, listen to me, man. When I say hospitality, I mean the people, the Bahamian people are genuine, loving, nice people. So the tourists, they come in to see us.
Well,
They
we're
won't be
competing with
among
a
us.
lot
They
of
won't be
markets
cooped up in
around.
them hotels and stuff and in the casinos and stuff like that. They ain't into that.
What are they seeing when they see us?
What they see a whole different type of people that they've never met. Real, genuine, loving, caring people who really appreciate their guests and visitors. That all of that is in Freeport, all of that is in all our family islands, all of that is in Nassau. The point is, the problem, Dwight, and I end on this. The Port Authority, how hard can it be? And the government, they need to come together and increase either through cruise ships. Because when I was a young boy, I remember that the port Lucaia and the International Bazaar was full with cruise ship passengers, and people were spending, and they were making money, and the people in Freeport had this problem. The issue is the Port Authority, Dwight, and the government of the Bahamas need to sit down and find a way to market Freeport again and bring the tourists back there.
Okay.
Everything else is already in place, Dwight.
Okay, all
right.
Thank you very much.
See, I can't believe I'm going to pull this right now. I'm going to pull my millennial card. When I travel, I've never said to myself, I'm going to a place to see the people. It's always for an event or some sort of spectacle that's associated with that trip. Now, I'm not questioning.
There's some places where you go, but those people are unusual. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I've just never seen that. And I understand and I respect the fact that we're good hosts. We have people feeling very comfortable, and that sometimes add to their trip.
Sure.
But there needs to be some sort of event schedule, some sort of
Attraction,
right? That
something
goes on
that
in
they
Freeport.
cannot find anywhere else. All those things you mentioned are, well, as you said, throughout the Bahamas and other parts of the world too.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge with Grand Bahama, but we have that problem in New Providence as well. There's not much here that's unique.
That's why you see entities like RCL stepping in to provide those sorts of event spaces and things for people to do as they come,
Absolutely.
whether it's on a day trip or so on and so forth.
Yeah, without a doubt. The phone lines are all lit up. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. Good morning, Ricardo Wells.
Hi, good morning.
I'd just like to make this one very, I think, salient contribution, especially to the previous caller. You know, the success of Grand Bahama, in my view, is a combination of both the Port Authority and the Bahamas government. Remember, Freeport proper is under the ambit of the Port Authority. The rest of the island is under the ambit of the Bahamas government. And it's going to take both entities to do something positive to move Grand Bahama to the next level. So you cannot just single out the Port Authority and leave the government out of it. The thing is, I think the Freeport or Grand Bahama Island as a whole had a golden nugget that they allowed to slip out of their hands, and that was the International Bazaar that represented persons and cuisine and stuff from all around the world, giving a different taste and flavor to the island of Grand Bahama. And we allowed that entity to just, when I say we, I'm talking about even though it would have fallen under the ambit of the Port Authority because it's in that area, we all should have had a vested interest in keeping that going. The airport is another part of it that, yes, I agree, in order to get the persons onto the island to promote the economic stimulus that the island wanted. But, of course, both sides, again, allow that airport to fall into disarray.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to blame ourselves for allowing these persons, our government and the Port Authority, in allowing these things to happen. So let's put right where right is and stop beating one side without being fair across the board. We have failed.
Yeah.
Let us fix Grand Bahama. Okay? Thanks for
very
taking
much.
my call.
And I think a lot of people will say that what also hurt gravely the International Bazaar was the opening of Port Lucaya.
Right.
Opposite our Lucaya, now Grand Lucaya, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a similar concept.
I just was about to say redundancy.
Why would you do that?
And everything that he mentioned, and I always make this point when I talk to people from Grand Bahama, everything that was offered in the International Bazaar, I was a kid when it was around, went a couple of times, but everything that was offered, you can make it, again, we live in a time where everything is curated. All of my timelines are curated. All of the things I read and support are curated. Why is it that we've not curated a schedule of events for Grand Bahama that will pull entities, like you could say you could host any one of the international food festivals right there in Grand Bahama. You don't need a big hotel. You don't need a big space. You have all of those beautiful beaches that I think 2 callers ago talked about.
Right.
You could curate an international food festival or a film festival specifically for the community of Grand Bahama, and then you could use that to pull all of those people that you say that we need additional airlift for.
We've been saying this for decades. All these things, it was supposed to be the Gulf capital of the Bahamas. It was supposed to be the film capital of the Bahamas. It was supposed to be all these things. We've let it go, and we say something and you just forget about it, like what they said they're going to do with the Royal Oasis. This is insane. We're not serious. Whether you want to blame the government or the Port Authority, blame them all. Everybody has failed Grand Bahama. So to have a rally there tonight and this weekend is
it's probably
curious.
Why they're having the rally to deflect from all of the multitude of failures.
I think that could backfire. Unless you have some major announcements to make. Wow, this is like...
You get a hotel. You get a hotel.
That would be... It actually... It wouldn't be any worse than it is now.
That's the only saving grace there. They could probably announce that they have a buyer, and this is the reason you bring in all the pump and pageantry.
You know, I'm going to bring in football, right? Isn't that what Green Bay is? The fans own the...
Definitely.
Let the people own the hotel.
And this is one of the points that we make every week on the Accredited. We focus on sports, the element of it. But we always say that the government needs to find a way. This is where the young people need to be involved. You have so many artists in this town, so many musicians, so many people in the creative spaces. Why not put out there to tender and try to figure out, hey, create a creative element plan for Grand Bahama, create a creative element plan for Exuma, all of these islands that are struggling. Figure out what could attract persons here year round. I know Exuma, we now call it one of the boating capitals of the world. You have a lot of yachts that go through there, but those persons are particularly staying in the marinas. What is there to get them out of those marinas into the community to help build up those communities? The same thing in Grand Bahama. You have the port area that's all the way near the shipyard, and then I think for a period of time it was further down in West End. What is there to bring them into the community of Grand Bahama, whether it's West End, East End, High Rock? What is there to bring them into those communities? We've just not seen it. I mean, you could go as simple as a art space. You could go as simple as a music festival. You need something to bring them into those communities because that's when you get the economic spend.
I think the plans are there, but they don't want to listen to them because they're wearing the wrong color shirts and stuff like that. Or they're not wearing any color shirt. That's worse, apparently. What are you doing? Who are you? Who are you with? Nobody. Oh, no. No. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, President Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning to your guests.
Good morning, sir.
Freeport, Grand Bahama, whatever we want to call it. I'll give you a little history. When it comes to tourism, Freeport possibly could have made it back in the 50s or the early 60s when Walt Disney petitioned the Bahamian government, so Lyndon Pennon and those, to put Disney World in Freeport. That idea was rejected. And the reason why that was rejected was because Sir Lyndon Oscar Penland...
Is that real?
Pardon me?
Really
That's real? Really? You sure?
You're listening to history. I'm telling you history.
This was before Orlando.
Yes. Okay. And he rejected it because he said that he would have had to...
What? No. Something's wrong. The timelines aren't adding up.
Listen
to me. The timelines aren't adding up.
Lynn and Penland told Disney we can't do it because I would have to give too much permit for too much white folks to come in the country.
I know.
That's why Disney was rejected.
Wait, hold on.
Now, the only other thing that is happening, we missed that boat a long time ago with tourism, is that we are trying to fit around a square peg in a round hole.
Maybe you're right. 1970, 71. Okay, you might be. I gotta do more research on that.
Freeport is exactly what you said, Dwight. It doesn't have the things there that lends towards productive tourism. Yes, we could have some international bazaars and stuff for people to do when they get there. But the problem with Freeport is carved out to be industry because of its proximity to Florida. And the successive governments and everybody else refuse to accept that fact. What is the only thing that seemingly is making a couple dollars out of Freeport? The aggregate is still being shipped out of there.
Oh.
Freeport is supposed to be industry.
I was going to say drugs, but something's wrong with me. Oh boy. Okay. Yes, you're right. Sure. Yeah, I got to check out.
I really want to know more about that.
That timeline is a little off because
71 it was open. So
that's when it was open.
This would have been
he was looking around in the 50s and 60s. So and it wouldn't have been pending until 67, 60.
Which
so I
is
think
still enough time.
No. They didn't take 3 years to get that together.
Well, don't forget what Disney Orlando is. It was not this
it definitely
spectacle
evolved.
at that time.
Yes,
So,
that's true.
But I mean, to the caller's point, you have to, and this is where I always give credit to the Port Authority. The design of Grand Bahama allows for you to still, while it's built for industry, there's so much spaces for you to cultivate cultural spaces.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much space for you to cultivate entertainment spaces. It's all mapped out for you to still have these entities all coexist.
It could still happen. It could still happen. Let's take this call. I need to get to these text messages. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to Mr. Wells, your guest, Alan Johnston. I often wonder this wonderland that people speak of Grand Bahama, and their perspective of what it
Magic
was,
City.
what it is, and what it will become. Just let me say, Freeport is a dying town. We talk about this infrastructure. It's almost like the expression is that you're spreading rumors. The Bible speaks about that. Said, don't bear false witness. Anything you don't personally know to experience for yourself. But Freeport is a dying town from infrastructural-wise and otherwise. We talk about something that's built 50 years ago with the average infrastructure at the time for a lifespan of 40 to 50 years. So even though we were prepared for the 250,000 people or whatever it was, that was under the concept of actually putting in sewer systems, which was state-of-the-art at that particular time, probably for the Caribbean. But if you talk about the capacity today for the Wildman people, you're talking about rebuilding a system where sewer systems in Freeport is to the point of what you call end of life. Same thing with buildings. There have been no major buildings in Freeport for decades. And so Freeport has conceptually the infrastructure that can be reborn, and improved upon. But as a person who's done a survey, extensive international survey in 2009, 2012, 2017 on Freeport for international people, where they say we used to serve sunshine, sea, and service. We only now provide sunshine and sea. We no longer provide service. And so, but when you look at Freeport and then you look at Grand Bahama, they're two different things. The problem is that we have this imagination about what Freeport is or what Grand Bahama is or what Grand Bahama was. And it's not based on the context of what it is today and what it can become. And so you cannot blend the past except from a historical standpoint of saying what it was, what the potential is. Because the tourism product at Freeport was a magic city for tourism, and tourism is part of the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement makeup, even though people keep talking about this so-called industrial city. It was a blending of intent and purpose that no longer there. So essentially, when you start talking about rebuilding Freeport or rebuilding Grand Bahama, you must start from a 0 point.
Let me ask you something. Do you know anything about what's going to be happening this weekend? Why the PLP is having that event there? You think they're making any announcements?
Right. They realize that they no longer have support of the seniors, and they're very small, so they're now coming to try to lay some clean to the youths of those families, considering that youth unemployment is down. People are suffering housing insecurity, food insecurity, energy insecurity, health insecurity, fire engine insecurity, broken promise for the seawall, the defense force base, the selling of the hotel and billing it, the promise for the ambulatory care police station, promise for housing, promise for the
Seattle, we don't have all day. You're going to be talking for it's a long list.
These are promises made by the Prime Minister himself.
My goodness. So, did you know anything about that? Is that accurate at all? Anything about Disney? And I can't imagine, but you ever heard that before?
To understand it, first of all, Walt Disney began construction in May of 1967. That's actually 1 year after Walt Disney had already died. And the first park was 1971 was where Magic Kingdom come. I've always heard the talk, most recently in the last 15 years or so, supposed to be that they came in, wanted to come to Freeport and everything else. I don't know any historical information. I reached out to the family, believe it or not. It's a family from Eleuthera, a person from Eleuthera. You ever heard of Arvida, the largest construction company in the United States? If you go to Eleuthera, you'll see a house called the Arthur Vining Davis House. Arvida, the largest construction in the U.S. that eventually owned all the Disney theme parks around the world, is Arthur Vining Davis from Eleuthera. That's where the Arvida, Arvida construction came from in the U.S. So the problem is that I've never heard it. Now, I do know that his family, or he did, had an interest in the Bahamas. I don't know specifically where. And I've lost touch over the last 2 decades with the families, because they eventually were the ones that came in to help build Western Florida, which became the number one city. It's a long history. We as Bahamians have history. And let me just say before Dwight and to Wells. And we have to ask ourselves, right? If you go back to the Bahamas as Bahamians, have we impacted this region the way we did pre-independence? As we did.
It's a heavy point.
And the question, from billing Florida, from the Caribbean and other different things. And so the question has to be is, what has happened to us over the last generation, 40 years, in respect to that. But Freeport has the potential. But for that hotel to be sold, you could write the hotel off. It has to be torn down. What you have to say is, stop saying the sale of the hotel, because that was trying to be sold by Hutchison Whampoa before they F&M bought it, from the hurricane that struck before Dorian. So that's the second or third hurricane that struck that hotel. So it was trying to be sold before then, and it's the same thing with the airport, because the airport could no longer get insurance, and Hutchison Whampoa no longer wanted to be invested in it, because after the third hurricane strike, there was no assurances, and they were having issue with their partner, who was the Grand Bahama Port Authority at the same time, participating in equity in the rebuilding of the hotel and in the rebuilding of the airport. And so we have this history that doesn't align with reality of exactly what it is. And so this is what creates the problem in actually rebuilding, because you have to build from the foundation of knowledge as opposed to I wish, I hope, and I pray and everything else.
Okay.
But we must have a conversation on Grand Bahama, because let's repeat it right. Going back to 2002 election, on every stage, I can send you the speech, from 2000, 2007, 2012, 2017, and 2021, every single prime minister or aspirant said there will be no economic recovery in the Bahamas, with the Grand Bahama beginning to play the central role of that perspective. And guess what? You have seen that there has been no real growth or economic recovery of the Bahamas, because Grand Bahama is the place that it has to be, but it goes back to the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement, not for the fight they're having for the money and everything else, but to its intent. Yeah. And Dwight, guess what that intent was? Local government that's supposed to have happened since 1990.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Wow. All right, so messages about this. People saying, yeah, it's been folklore about this Disney thing, but not sure whether this is true, but people have been saying that for a long time.
Oh,
so
but it kind of...
It's an urban legend now, I guess.
It kind of lines up from this standpoint. I learned so much about the Bahamas when I do research in Florida, when I communicate with residents there, because you understand the pivotal role Bahamians played in developing those communities.
Yeah.
So if you go back to the 50s and 60s and early 70s, you would see that timeline lined up. You would see the Bahamas helping to build those communities, likewise the way our communities were being built here locally. So if you go back, Freeport was founded when, and I think the day of the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement was in the 50s.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you had a lot of the hoteliers and casino operators from Vegas come down to do the same thing, try to develop programs here. You look at what Disney was and how it was developed, you could see a through line that, hey, there was an opportunity to do something similar here. So it does line up a bit from that standpoint.
Interesting. Wow. And can you imagine what could have been? Somebody's asking who's paying for the trip and the hotel and the food. I mean, I'm sure the party is. Or you
Pretty sure the same person that paid for the inauguration coverage.
What? This is not a government thing. This is a party thing.
All wanted to say.
Oh boy. A lot of text messages. We're going to get to this in a bit. Marital rape and what the Attorney General's saying. So if you think the phone lines are lit up now, imagine when we get there. What a big disgrace. The government coming to a broken down airport and to a hotel they pump faked sold 3 times in the past 3 years in Dead Lugaya. Oh my gosh. The Dead Lugaya Strip. This is the worst thing ever for Grand Bahama. Something like that. I think it's saying, why is the government, how can they even show face? Hurry up and ring the bell. Something like that. There's a lot of words jumbled up. It's more like a fake announcement to pretend that something is happening before the elections. It's a red herring.
So we're all in agreement that the elections are happening. So I'm still thinking we were supposed to be a year off, but y'all speaking like it's next week.
This, you like this one, Ricardo? That Saturday sports show needs 2 hours, Dwight. Honestly, I don't know.
I'm in full agreement. I've been telling Dwight the exact same thing.
I thoroughly enjoy every Saturday.
Yeah.
I agree. We need some sponsors too. So, folks, hey, if you're interested in advertising on,
I've been sharing my numbers on social media so much now. My team is telling me I need to stop that. But if you're interested in sponsoring the accredited in any which way, you can reach out to me directly at 449-9949 or 827-1360. We can discuss ways to not only get your products out there, but make you a part of our overall community. Because sports in Bahamas needs not only the spotlight, but it needs the opportunity to grow and develop. I always tell people, if you look at the athletes today, like Buddy Hield, Kai Jones, Jazz Chisholm, these persons were kind of cultivated right before our eyes, and we just didn't know who they would be 5-10 years down the line. So
and
there's
you
a
all
lot.
find diamonds in the rough, right?
Exactly.
So I see you take credit for VJ.
I'm just saying, in Bimini, he was just another guy running up and down, dunking, and having a good showcase. But he went off to the U.S. for another showcase there and took off. Again, it's just the opportunity. We have so many great sports academies that exist across New Providence and Grand Bahama. If we can find a way to get that in the public schools, these athletes identified a lot early on, and get them in the right programs, I think you'll be shocked what the Bahamas could offer.
This text as we go to the break. This person says Grand Bahama is the last place the PLP should come. The minister of Grand Bahama needs to go. The island has gotten worse. I don't know what a minister of Grand Bahama does. No one can tell me. Can you imagine this worse? It's worse now than after Hurricane Dorian. They're flying in a dray load of people for this event. Oh dear. Wow. Hey, we're going to go to the news. We'll pick up the rest of your text messages and get into that marital rape discussion. Oh, boy. Brace yourselves. This is Morning Blend on a Friday here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Mr. Johnson trying to find Freddie and Margaret looking for Lil. They look all around on Bay Street, Baintown, Palmdale, and over the hill. Cross the bridge to Paradise Island, but alas to no avail. So they all come to one conclusion: they're in Freeport or they're in jail. So if you're looking, searching and worrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. Auntie Alice looking for Mary, and she cousin Leslie and Gail. She even fly to Miami, Coral Gable and Fort Lauderdale. But she still come to this conclusion after using plane, car and sail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. So if you're looking, searching and worrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. Go!
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Float Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. And now at 8:26, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. We've got an expansive area of high pressure centered just north of Bermuda, coupled with a dry air mass nestled across the country. That's all going to support some stable and warm, very warm conditions over the next few days. And it's keeping rain chances pretty low for the end of January and into February. So these strong breezes will continue to temporarily move through the Bahamas as the system accelerates northeastwards towards the Azores through tonight. So the surface ridge will weaken as the high pulls further away into the North Atlantic, allowing for a frontal boundary to meander just north of Grand Bahama and Abaco beginning on Saturday. That system may introduce some occasionally cloudy conditions, along with a few light sprinkles across portions of the islands, as the winds gradually diminish over the area through the remainder of the weekend. Heading into the work week, though, we're expecting some warmer than you'd expect temperatures for February. In fact, maybe shockingly warm. Highs in the mid to upper 80s, possibly. We'll get to that in a bit. But there's also a risk of rip currents along eastern, southern, and Atlantic shorelines. Beachgoers and swimmers are urged to remain onshore while visiting beaches in these areas. A near gale watch in effect for the southeast Bahamas. For today, we're looking at mostly sunny conditions, turning mostly fair tonight across most areas. High temperatures in the low 80s, around 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 64, 65 Fahrenheit, about 18 Celsius. In your extended outlook for your weekend, Saturday, the first day of February 2025, a mix of sun and clouds, turning fair to partly cloudy at night. Sunday, partly cloudy to cloudy, mainly over the northwest and central Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds, turning mostly fair at night. Monday, partly sunny to sunny, turning fair at night. Pretty much the same for Tuesday into Wednesday. And by the middle of next week, you will be seeing those highs in the mid-80s, lows in the upper 60s, low 70s. That's your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in store today. It's time for a look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. In your real-time traffic this morning, your hotspots are, as usual, hot. Right now, we're seeing Milo Butler Highway, heavy traffic from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout if you're heading northbound, straight up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway. So traffic is backed up along Fire Trail eastbound and Tawny Williams Darling Highway westbound. Back down to the Fire Trail area, we're seeing some slow-moving traffic near Faith Avenue. And at the Carmichael and Milo Butler Highway junction, you can be seeing a lot of congestion on the Carmichael side, both directions west of Milo Butler Highway. And Faith Avenue looking busy for you as well. Over on Blue Hill Road, heavy traffic from Carmichael straight up to Independence Drive. If you're heading northbound, Independence Drive backed up in both directions, east and westbound, between the roundabouts at East Street and Blue Hill Road. Slow-moving traffic at pockets along Wolf Road this morning. And Marathon Road and Soldier Road, both of them northbound, heavy slow-moving traffic for you. You're not moving at all if you're on Robinson Road between Soldier and Old Trail. And along Prince Charles Drive, the major intersections, some congestion. Eastern Road, slow-moving traffic just west of Fox Hill to Johnson Road at this hour. Elsewhere, Glaston Road looking busy for you as well, northbound. And Carmichael Road, westbound, slow-moving traffic as you head out to Coral Harbor Road. That's what we're seeing right now in your real-time traffic. That's your morning blend. Traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we can sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
On February 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m., the Bahama Convention Center will set the stage for an unforgettable celebration of 25 years of giving back and supporting healthcare education in the Bahamas. Experience a night of excitement with exquisite fine dining, captivating live entertainment, and an inspiring atmosphere as we come together to celebrate and shape a brighter, healthier future. Tickets are available now. Reserve your spot today by emailing dhfoundation@doctorshosp.com or calling 242-302-4640. Sponsorship opportunities are also available to show your support for this important cause. The Doctors Hospital Maya Rassin Foundation. 25 years of transforming healthcare and building a legacy. Don't miss this special celebration.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the Know-How team at 396-1101.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
I beat him at Pinda and I meet him in the showroom. I said, Pinda, I just come out of a showroom in Portugal and let me tell you something, damn showroom and selection ain't got nothing on yours. Man, I like this stock of porcelain and ceramic tile you got here. What I really like is the range of sizes that come in, 8x48, 12x24, 24x24, and what I really like more than the things I really like is the price. From $275 a square foot to $494 a square foot and all in between. You can't beat that, not even with a 2x4 from Enterprises.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
What? You don't know what TDC is? Tourism Development Corporation? You mean the Ministry of Tourism? No, that ain't the same thing, boy. The Tourism Development Corporation helps to develop and grow behemoth businesses in the tourism industry. You hear what I say, boy? Oh, yeah, develop and grow. You don't know what all the things saying too? What does do?
Check the website once. Start your journey to ownership of our #1 industry today. Log on to tdcbahamas.com.
Are you ready to elevate your day with a burst of flavor? Look no further than Dunkin', your ultimate destination for everything delicious. From our freshly brewed coffee that is sure to pick you up, to our signature frozen beverages that will cool you down. And don't forget our mouth-watering sandwiches, made to order all day. Dunkin' has it all. And of course, our lineup of fresh donuts, muffins, and more. Dive into a world of yummy flavors at Dunkin' and bring joy to your day. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Sitting here, wasting my time for you. And I'm not too crazy about the idea of having nothing to do. Change. The idea might sound strange, oh, there's no time to waste. Let's get married today. Let's get married. Gonna get married. Let's get married today.
Get married so you can continue to rape your spouse whenever you want.
Oh, wow.
That's where we go with that song. That's right. Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong, along with my guest co-host Ricardo Wells from The Accredited, from 10th year seniors, every Saturday, 11 o'clock right here on Guardian Radio. All right, so we're going to get back to your text messages on what we were talking about before, about Freeport, the big PLP party over the week, this weekend. They got something huge going on down there. And
that's an event for Freeport, though.
My goodness. Well, will there be major announcements? Or just parties? We'll see. We'll let you know on Monday. But anyway, so the other big story in the papers today, government won't move forward with marital rape. That's what Attorney General Ryan Pinder is saying, or Travis Cartwright Carroll writing about it. So Pinder last night says that he does not believe the Davis administration will move forward with an amendment to criminalize marital rape because of the fear that the party may lose in an election.
I often try to figure out how these sorts of things work. This is a statement that came out from, was it a statement or was it an interview?
Well, he was speaking at the legal week, legal something at the University of the Bahamas.
That makes it even worse. Mm-hmm. How do we have such life-implicating conversations in such flippant ways?
Yeah, because of votes. Not because you can't prove it, not because it's so controversial, but because we'll lose votes. Okay. That's why.
All right. I got it. I got it. I don't understand it, but I get it. I feel like it's better ways to go about these dialogues that we
just don't say it.
We just put it on the shelf for whatever reason. It's like, hey, no, let's just throw it out.
We're running out of time. You know, we have only a year to deal with some things, and so right now,
you could come
sadly,
to a really good space like this, sit down with Dwight on a Monday morning, and say, hey, these are the things as the Davis administration that we've come across. Mm-hmm. These are the concerns that we have.
These are our priorities.
This is why we're going to move in this direction. Yeah. Oh, no. We just think that, we could lose votes. So, yeah, next time.
No next time. Well, not this time.
Whoever picks it up next is going to be...
Whoever's foolish enough to want to lose votes.
But I don't get it. It should be I know we're going to get chewed up for this, but it should be a conversation about safety. Not only just safety, but protection in relationships. We had the conversation off air. Like, it's not a difficult thing once you separate the issue from all the convoluted political points. Just focus on the core element here. Mm-hmm. Safety and protection for persons in relationships. Like, it does not get more complex than that. Just focus on that element, and then we can resolve this.
Safety? Why would your spouse hurt you? Why would that ever happen? Has that ever happened? So Pinder, who was the featured speaker during Legal Week at the University of the Bahamas,
I didn't know we had that.
was asked if the government is minded to bring the bill before the end of the term. Pinder said, quote, "I don't think so." Asked why not, he responded, quote, "I think you would have heard the panel discuss the political impacts on that." Asked whether there is a concern about losing votes, the Attorney General said, quote, "I think every administration in the history of the Bahamas who has put this on the table and had it in front of it is worried about the same issue. There's nothing unique about this. There's a reason that no administration has passed it, and every single administration has drafted a bill, every single one."
Code for we have a big rape epidemic in our country, and we're scared that the persons that like rape may not want to vote or support us. That's what that means.
And like to be raped, I guess. Okay. I don't know. Following his comments, Pinder added that, quote, "Based on our consultations, it was clear there wasn't yet a consensus and more education and consultation is necessary."
Did he say who the groups consulted?
Well, you remember, they did have a few. They met with the church, and they were waiting to meet with the church and stuff. Prior to his address, a panel discussion featuring former Minister of State in the Ministry of Legal Affairs, Damien Gomez, KC, Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis, Marion Bethel, Magistrate Ian Marie Darville Miller, and Attorney Devard Francis, that took place prior to the minister's comments. When asked by a moderator to explain some of the resistance to criminalizing marital rape, Senator Barnett Ellis said, quote, "There is a view that to deal with this uncomfortable issue is going to adversely impact them at the polls. Let's keep it real." Bethel agreed, saying, quote, "I think successive administrations have been afraid of moving to enact this legislation that criminalized marital rape. It is a political issue. I think there is a sense of wanting to appease certain sectors of the religious community, some of whom are powerfully opposed to it, and there are votes involved in that. I think there's also a sense of wanting to appease men, quite frankly. Men are very fragile and afraid of this. I think a part of the answer to that is conversation about the issue and what it means to love your wife, respect her, and have consensual sex."
I thought the men in our community were tough.
Tough to get them to understand that rape is wrong.
Wow. So, okay. Yeah. Fragile egos. I got it. I got it.
Gomez said it's strange that the current status quo still exists. He noted that there are a lot of women who live with men and are not married, and there is no report of an explosion of rapes. That's a very interesting point to make, right? So why are you concerned that if you get married, then all of a sudden she's going to cry rape? If it isn't happening. But anyway, Gomez said, quote, "I start off with the premise that you can only do what is being permitted under the present circumstances if your wife is a slave or somehow an indentured servant. If that is the case, then this is essentially a violation of Article 18 of the Constitution. Are we really a country that abolished slavery in the 1800s? 1830s, to be exact. The whole struggle for freedom, the whole struggle for us as a people to be even recognized as people, both locally and abroad, is completely inconsistent with the existence of this immunity that is being afforded to husbands, and afforded at a time when we know that this position has dubious roots."
This is not rude, but this is what I can't wrap my head around. And again, not married, so this is somebody outside looking in, trying to figure out how does this play out.
Before you go on,
go ahead.
Remember now that this has been happening. They tell people who aren't married to have nothing to say about it.
That's why I preference my comments with that point.
Remember, the speaker was asked about it, and she said she's not married, so she's getting.
I'm on the outside looking at just asking.
This is where we are.
On the outside looking at just asking.
You've been warned.
How is it, and I understand the religious point that the two become one, but how is it that you could, quote unquote, physically harm your better half or other half, however you look at it, and not realize it as a problem? Like, how is it? Even if you take it from the biblical sense, the two become one, how can you harm yourself and not understand it or see it as a problem? Like whether it's at the point where you feel like there's still marital bliss and everything should be, nice and hunky-dory, how could you harm your partner and not see it as a problem? And if it's at the point where everything is broken down and the relationship is at that space where everyone is at odds, why is it at that point not the time to say, hey, this is not a safe space for me, this is not a safe space for them, we should dissolve this union?
I have an answer. I know what they're going to say when they call. See, the phone lines are all lit up. They're going to say, you can't rape yourself. That's what they're going to say.
There's a difference between suicide and murder. There's a big difference.
Oh, boy.
There's a big difference. No? Okay.
Well.
The four lines are really... Okay.
It's Friday, so I have the weekend to rest up after this. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, Dwight, how you doing? Can I do a correction on Grand Bahama and Walt Disney?
Really quickly.
Quickly. I want to speak to the thing, but I just want to do the correction. I did call individuals that's very familiar with it, and of course, my father was in set with Wallace Groves and a very good friend of his coming from the Berry Islands. Walt Disney did consider the Bahamas as one of his 3 locations. It was the Bahamas, California, and St. Louis, Missouri. And they then opted to go to they opted to go to Florida. In his initial stages, he considered the Bahamas as a place to be like a paradise type theme park vacation, and Freeport was considered part of that decision before he died, and they made a decision to build in Florida.
Okay.
So, but on this marital thing, Dwight, put our laws into one of the AI programs and ask for the solution. And you'll be surprised, Dwight. It gives the solution recommendations. And the recommendations is what myself and others have been saying. The update the marital laws from the 1800s, whatever it is that we're still using, to allow for, which the religious community may protest against, for no-fault divorce, and also a recommendation of legal separation. It's somehow we want to always be told what to do by foreign international people. But if we could actually address this, because essentially what you're doing is you're patching the law with this marital rape rather than going back to the archaic marital laws that we have on our books and begin to push to correct that.
Absolutely.
And then build on the new house as opposed to building on a shanty town. And so if we have a conversation in context of what is it that we are trying to achieve, as opposed to what somebody else is telling us what to do, we might just build a better Bahamas.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's take this call. Good morning, you're on the air. Hi, caller. Good morning, you're on the air. Are you there? Yes, hi. Oh, boy. Hi. What did we just do? 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. I think we cut you off accidentally. Caller, call us back. Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. How are you doing?
Doing well.
I just want to thank you always for these conversations that are meaningful to us as a society. And I want to say that as a husband and as a man, I truly support this marital bill, marital rape law in terms of what it's out to achieve. And I think that may have been C. Allen that called in just now. About us having a conversation in context and not a conversation that is overwhelmed or taken over by the fears of a few that think that this is about getting into your marital business and into your marriage bed and so forth. There are a number of women in our country, and I say a good number of women in our country who endure abuse as a result of being in a marriage and being seen as property. As I listened to your co-host, Dwight, he talked about how is it that someone can hurt themselves or hurt their significant other. When you yourself are experiencing hurt, it's hard for you to even understand or define the hurt that you're inflicting on someone else. And so it's being able for women to protect themselves in these kinds of instances that I think are the laws out to achieve, because in many instances, with cases that we have in our country before the court, you have wives that have been abused, raped, physically abused in marriage. And as a result of that marriage and us not having the necessary laws in place, they have not been able to get justice.
Carl,
And
if you
I
don't
think
mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 38.
See, that's where it makes all the sense in the world. Because I think oftentimes what people miss in these kinds of dialogues is the fact that people of a certain age feel like, you touched on it when you talked about your spouse being property. That idea of someone belonging to you.
And I do think that's an age thing in our country. You're correct.
Yeah.
I think that's an age thing. And just not to say that it's this exact scenario. For example, those that are maybe in the 50 and older bracket,
55 maybe.
It may feel like that's my woman, so don't say nothing to me, or I don't want nobody tell me nothing about my woman.
Yeah.
When those of us that are a little younger believe that dying my woman, that's my wife, and she's not my property per se. We're co-partners in an agreement that she don't put her hand on me and I don't put my hand on her. It's that simple. But then again, like I said, my ultimate concern, Dwight, has been that every time we attempt to have these meaningful conversations that are necessary for our advancement as a society, they get bogged down by the conversation of what the fears or what people are afraid of or what people, and then we do not get to achieve the very thing that we set out to achieve, which is to protect our women. Please, I'm begging for us to get beyond this. Who's policing, who's marriage and the bed and what the church saying. There are women in our country that need protection. Let's focus on that aspect of the conversation. You all are doing a great job inside there, Dwight. And again, thank you every morning for being what I call a social engineer, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's a big serious term there. Yeah. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning to your co-host.
Hi.
Good morning.
I'm listening to the dialogue, and I am in total agreement of the gentleman. However, the age bracket, I don't agree with, that 55 age bracket. I'm in that age bracket, and I had to walk out of my marriage due to the same thing that you guys are speaking about, abuse of one sort or the other.
Well, no, I think that's what he's saying, that you may find that people 55 and over men
I would
have
find
an
that
issue.
number. I would put it at 60 or
60?
over.
Okay. All right. Sure.
I put it at 60 because I'm within that bracket of the 55.
Yeah.
And
Not that the women would be necessarily accepting of it, although many women seem to think so.
No, you have some women who are very accepting of it
seems
because
so.
as far as they're concerned, that's marriage, and I guess any buck-up goes, they like to say, for better or for worse.
Right.
I've met women who has been in situations and they feel like for better or for worse. I don't see it like that. That's what the wives might say, but for better, I would mean as we get in financial problem, we work together to make it better. Not you abusing me. That's a one-sided thing.
Yeah.
You understand me? So I am in total agreement. I feel like they need to get beyond this, and they need to check some of those persons who are there touting church rules. God say, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Christ never abused the church. So if they are going by church rules, they should set that one in front of them.
So let me ask you, what do you think of a cabinet minister, the attorney general, saying that the government won't move forward with this because it could lose votes? What do you make of that?
Vote him out. Vote them out so they can move him. Because that's stupidness. You have people in your country, your people, who have to go to the poll and vote for you. And you're trying to satisfy what, a handful? No, man, vote them out so we can move him. And put someone there who would sit down and look at it from biblical and all other ways to try and come up with an amicable position and get it done.
All right, thank you very much.
It has to be done.
This is why I'm a
Appreciate
proponent of the idea of exit polling when it comes to elections. Just put it before the voter. On the way out of the polls, hey, do you feel like marital rape should be law? What do you feel like there needs to be some element of it?
You want to do an exit poll or you want to have a referendum?
No, I want an exit poll because if the Attorney General could sit back and say, we're concerned about losing voters. I really want to see from a percentage standpoint how many people have that thought. Because if there's an audience, if there's a wide audience, let's say 60, 70% of Bahamians feel like, hey, we don't want anything considered for marital rape.
No.
We want to move on from this issue completely. We don't want it to be on the books. Then I need to know that. But I feel like just throwing this out that we're afraid to lose votes. And that's the reason we're going to move away from it.
Yeah.
That's a big statement.
I've heard this said before, though. I mean, can you imagine if they did that when they were trying to end slavery? If they did a survey, plenty of people would say, we like it how it is. But, right, the majority might have said it.
But see,
so you can't always go by that either.
That's why I'm saying I'm not using it as the point to make the law. What I'm saying is I, as a Bahamian, would love to know how many of my countrymen out there sit down every day with the thought of, hey, if she tell me no,
right.
I need to know.
Yeah.
I really need to know.
Interesting. Yeah. Let's take some more calls before we need to take a break. Good morning. You're on the air. Are you there, caller? Good morning. Let's take that line there. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Dwight, I couldn't help but call back. Did you just say, Dwight, that the Attorney General said that they're not concerned with advancing this policy because it would cause them to lose votes?
They likely won't move forward because it would cost them votes.
And that was a...
That's why we're talking about this. Not because we love to talk about marital rape. It's because he said this last night.
Dwight, women in our country should be appalled, upset, and I don't know what else to say. At this point, if an Attorney General of our country is going to make a statement like that about policy, then it tells us that they're not governing to govern. They're governed to be in government a second term.
But he said every party has, clearly every administration going back years clearly has been in the same boat.
But Dwight, we allow our leaders to set the bar so low, and by using the previous mess up, I going to almost say something else just now, using the previous mess up as the standard. Why are we allowing leaders to do it? Why would I allow you to use that measuring stick that did not benefit as the measuring stick to why you're doing the same thing to us again?
Interesting. Thank you very much. All right. Let me read some of these messages before we take these final calls here. So this person says here, are there that many rapists in our country that would be able to swing this election?
Clearly. Clearly.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. What needs to happen is for all women to go to the streets and actively protest for our equal rights for ourselves, our children, our spouses, and for not being treated as someone else's property.
I agree with the idea of protesting, but while we're at it, I feel like all of our drug dealers should do the exact same thing.
What now?
All of our murders. Because what he's saying is that if you could format a grouping that could clearly say, if you could form a voting block to say that,
you want to see who they are.
I feel like drug dealing should be legal. Clearly, he would then capitulate because then that would cost them votes. That's what he's saying there. Anything that is tangentially close to breaking the law can't be supported in the fear that we don't want to lose votes. That's what he's saying.
Oh, boy.
No? I'm interpreting it. Okay.
I get it. I don't think they need to hit the streets. They know the numbers to call. Anyway, this has nothing to do with age. As with everything else, it is a mindset. You could be 90 and respect your wife. I think what we're saying is that you're more likely to be if you're of a certain age, that thinking that we are one and I could do whatever I want to my one, right? That's what we're saying. Not that everybody's like that. Obviously not. And I'm sure there are people under 50 who unfortunately have the same mindset.
Point them out.
Yeah. In reality, marital rape is none of our concern.
Wow.
If a woman marries a man and he rapes her, she needs to leave the house to avoid being raped. Simple as that. This is a political nuisance. Boy, I tell you. So he just gets away with it, right? Nothing happens to him. He's just allowed to rape and go free. Yep. Okay. This is a political nuisance in our country, like it's being debated. But if you're being abused, just leave.
So
also,
I have to ask, if I intend to rob a bank and I go inside and I start the sticker process, am I fair in telling the teller, if you don't want me to rob you, just immediately pack up and leave? Am I fair in saying, I'm trying to understand the logic. Okay.
Also, who are the women complaining? I have never seen one publicly complain about marital rape. Because it's not against the law. That's why. We're making noise about something that should not be our concern as citizens. Oh, dear. Boy, you got our guest coming up going wild out there. It's simple. Let the people decide on what type of marital laws they want with a referendum. It's been taking too many years. It's too many years of talking. 10 years without sex, so rape is not a problem. What now? Totally free, no party willing to put it in law. What's happening? This is just words generated by a bot? I'm not sure what's going on here.
Sentences, it doesn't make a point, but...
Well, and there was an earlier one here. Yes, Dwight, the Prime Minister is not fool enough to push that marital rape legislation in this election season. The PLP would be slaughtered with the men voting. However, it won't make a difference. The Bahamian people have already made up their minds.
With the men. We got to hold a men's meeting. Like, we have to. Like, just bring them all together. Let's have a conversation. I'll order pizza. We'll get the domino table going. I need to figure out who these men are. I have to, because there's clearly a big voting bloc out there. I need to know.
Let's take a couple more calls and then we got to break for news. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, Dwight. Hi, Ricardo. Hey, calling back in on another topic. If we really look at how this thing is, it's no surprise. Precedence has already been set. Even if we were to take what you call a poll, whether it is scientific or not, and we put it out there, I thought we were in a country where majority rules. And so, therefore, if the past examples of the public giving their input into any matters and then have the government decide that they would not listen to the people but do their own thing, I mean, I don't see the sense of even doing any polls. Because with a matter like this, it's highly sensitive and it all depends on who is being addressed there and how it impacts the family and so on and so forth. Put it out there to a poll if you want to, and if the people speak, it's interesting to see how our officials are going to respond to the opinions of the public. I mean, I believe referendum is always the way to go when it comes down to issues that affects the public, and the public should have a voice. But it's obvious that special interests and everyone else in this country has a voice, but the people's voice always seems to be moved when it comes down to certain things. But close, okay? Well, thanks for taking my call.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. One final call. Good morning, caller on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there? We lost it. All right, so, hey,
highly sensitive.
And it's been so long. It's been so long, and we've not made any progress. I feel like we might have actually gone backwards on this. Boy, this text as we get ready to go to the break. This person says, I'll support the marital rape law if that means women who don't give themselves up in a marriage will also be charged with emotional abuse and abandonment.
Wow. I really leaned towards robbing the bank right after I leave. I gotta try it now. I gotta try it. Would it be them withholding from me? Like, I'm just trying to figure out the process.
Okay, so this comes from a texter who always sends messages like this. We've labeled him misogyny.
Okay, that makes sense. You should have started with that.
We always get those type messages. But
yeah, you should just our daily tip from our misogynistic texter, and then read his comment.
Maybe get a sponsor for his text messages.
Yes, a nice little melody going in the background. It's crazy.
Oh boy. We got to take a break after that. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We'll be back with business in a bit.
I don't understand. Ooh, you don't believe me? You say you love me. Why don't you give me your hand? Oh, baby, let me tell you one thing. I'm tired of playing around. A girl in every town. Oh, I want to settle down and stop fooling around. Let's get there. I've
almost here, and the best place to watch it is at Nassau Cruise Port. Join us on Sunday, February the 9th for an unforgettable game day watch party. Huge screens, unbeatable food, and drink specials, and all the game day energy you can handle. Grab your friends, bring your game face, and score big with giveaways, drink discounts, and a chance to win exclusive prizes. Don't miss out on the action. Game day, Nassau Cruise Port, Sunday, February 9th, where every touchdown feels like a win. See you there.
Pinda has a new line, the Sky series of porcelain. It comes in 4 colors: Sky Noir, Sky Gris, Sky Glance, and this one, Sky Azure. As the name suggests, you would think it has a strong blue component, but the blue is kind of like just a hint in the overall coloring of the porcelain. The blue feature runs more or less the center of the tile, and that's surrounded by light shades of gray. The Sky Azure, like the others in the series, needs to be seen to be appreciated. Stop by Pinda Tile and have a look at Sky Azure, one of the 4 in the Sky series.
Are you craving that fresh, famous food, but don't want to break the bank? Wendy's has got you covered. You can now enjoy the $5 Dave's deal at all participating Wendy's locations. Enjoy a Dave's single, a classic, or spicy chicken sandwich made with fresh ingredients for just $5. So don't compromise on flavor just because you're on a budget. Wendy's always offers fresh, famous food at a great price. Certain conditions apply.
RBC. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Are you seeking exceptional health care beyond the traditional hospital setting? Introducing Doctors Hospital Clinics, your trusted destination for comprehensive care. Our full-service locations provide affordable services through our Loyalty Advantage membership program and NHI. Experience seamless care with our integrated health system, where your medical history travels with you, ensuring continuity of care. Book an appointment today at clinics.doctorshosp.com. We make primary care easy.
The Water and Sewage Corporation is rolling out new digital meters designed to give you more accurate readings. With advanced technology, you'll be able to monitor your water usage in real time, get more accurate bills and early leak detection to avoid costly surprises. Better service starts now. Watch for our installation team in your neighborhood and get ready to experience the convenience of digital meters. Follow us on our social media platforms for more information. Digital meters from the Water and Sewage Corporation. Innovative, convenient, and designed for you.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, January 31st, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, along with my special guest co-host today, Ricardo Wells from 10th Year Seniors and the Accredited. And this morning, we are very pleased to have back with us from Easy Car Sales, Pia Farmer and Sean Grisette.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you with us again.
Good
Happy
morning.
New Year.
Good
Thank
morning.
Still
you.
saying that, I guess. You have a lot going on.
Oh my gosh.
This
yes.
is
Good morning.
all right. So let's see if we can get everything in. Let's begin by the event you're having. We'll remind people towards the end of the show about the event, but let's get that out of the way right now. You've got tomorrow,
Correct.
and
tomorrow.
all month long.
And
in
all
February.
month. You know, you got to make the love last
Oh,
the
okay.
whole month, of February now.
Right.
So tomorrow, February 1st, we are going to be at our Abundant Life location. That's on the highway, diagonally across from the mall at Marathon.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have an event there tomorrow from 11 till 4. And what we're doing is we are launching a promotion for the whole month of February called Fall in Love with an EV. And if you come and take a test drive all through the month of February, then you will be entered to win 2 nights at the Grand Hyatt at Bahama with $500 spending credit.
Wow.
So
Just
you
for taking a test drive?
Yes.
Just for taking a test drive, yes.
That's a good
The
deal.
best opportunity at very minimal cost.
Wow.
I feel like
Yes.
you win. I don't know if you win more by just the test drive or the actual benefits.
It's a
that comes with
win-win.
it, yeah.
Well, we
Win-win.
know you'll fall in love with an EV if you come and try one. And tomorrow we're launching it at Abundant Life from 11 o'clock till 4. And we're going to have a lot going on. Bank of the Bahamas is partnering with us. They will be there to do financing, approvals, and so forth. I mean, their loan payments are starting as low as $300 and something a month.
Wow. For an electric car.
For
yeah.
an electric car.
Brand
And
new.
remember, you are not buying gas
Right.
anymore,
Saving
right?
some money.
So if you're
She had
spending,
me at just the BYD.
It pays, yes.
so if you're not paying for gas, you can apply a lot of that money to your loan or spend it elsewhere on chocolates and flowers.
Right.
So tomorrow, come along because we
eggs.
also. Oh no! I
my
thought
goodness.
the eggs were going to be half price from.
They will.
Oh right.
April, though.
Okay.
But yeah,
Let's not go
let's
there.
focus. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So tomorrow we also have other partners apart from Bank of the Bahamas. We have Amplify coming back and handing out their lovely juices, sea moss.
Oh, they're very good.
delicious, really good and good for you. We also have the new Duff coming with guava Duff of all kinds, sorts, and types. Which
I thought there was only one flavor
No,
of guava.
no,
Just
no.
so
They've been doing
many.
the most. They've
Oh
been
my
doing the
goodness.
most. In a good way.
And then there is a street food, which is La Taqueria Don Flamingo. Do you like that? Taqueria Don Flamingo. And they will be handing out tacos to the first 50 people to take a test drive.
boy.
It'll be free for the first 50 people.
Did you say free?
I said free.
Oh my goodness.
And then, but you can also buy some more if you want.
Okay.
So you'll have food, you'll have drink, we will have music, we will have the bank there, and we're introducing our 2025 models. Because now, 2024 is gone. It's 2025 now. Come and see all the new beautiful
Okay.
models.
Wonderful stuff. And you don't need to make an appointment. Just show up.
We're all going to be
along.
there, all hands on
Okay.
deck. We got the new 2025 BYD Seal sedan.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness, that is a beautiful vehicle. And then we have the Yuan Plus EV and then the Yuan Pro. So all 2025 models, come on.
All electric, and we
All
also
electric,
have the
yeah.
Geely trucks. as well. So, and we have a few 2024 models. So
Still remaining.
maybe we can talk about a special deal on those.
Yeah, let's come and bargain with us. Yeah.
Well, not too much bargaining.
All right, so that is very exciting. Tomorrow, Ricardo, have you test-driven an EV before?
Yeah, I'm going to.
You're going to do it tomorrow.
It's
Okay.
yeah.
It will change your life.
No,
Yes.
it has already changed my life. Every time I see one in traffic, I'm like, you don't hear it come in. It's right there. And it seems like such elegance. So
Yeah.
I really wanted to test drive one.
It changes the way you drive. You're much more chillaxed.
Oh,
It
yeah.
changes your pocketbook, and what's left at the end of the month.
I don't
as well.
carry cash anymore. I don't need it for gas, so I don't know. Yeah. Please don't try to rob me.
So that's happening tomorrow, but all month long.
All month,
Yes,
the month
all
of
month
love.
long.
Yeah.
Just come to either Gladstone Road, to our headquarters there, or come to Abundant Life Road, which is our new location on the highway at Abundant Life Corner there. But you come in through the service road for Solomon's and Costrite. And so just come by, take a test drive, and you'll be entered for your chance to win 2 nights at the Grand Hyatt Bahama and $500 spending.
Wow.
So I have to ask for all the car enthusiasts out there, are there any major upgrades from the cars last year to the ones this year, particularly in the space of the seal?
Oh well, it's improved. It has improved range, battery, everything. They tweak it a little bit, so it's a lot better. Yeah.
And remember, all the BYD vehicles have an 8-year warranty, and Easy Car Sales is the only warranty provider in the Bahamas for BYD vehicles.
All right. So I want to talk about that, but before we go, the drawing for the Fall in Love event, when is
March
that gonna be?
3rd.
March 3rd.
So you have the whole month of February to enter to win.
Can we enter multiple times? So if I come tomorrow and then a couple of times next
Well, how
year.
many test drives do you need, sir?
For each of the new
Each one?
vehicles, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we
The
would
seal
like
might feel a bit different from the One Plus. You gotta check all.
Well,
You're gonna do all the colored ones
If
as well,
possible,
the
if
white
possible.
and then the black and then the.
If possible.
No, come and try various vehicles
Yes.
because they all are a little different, and it'll depend what your lifestyle is, what your budget is. But you will be entered once for the drawing.
Okay.
Yes, and all the information is on our website, www.easy242.com. Go there. All of the specs, all of the details for all of the vehicles are right there for you to preview.
And also, you can book a test drive if you want.
Okay.
in advance, yeah.
Right.
In advance.
All right, so Peter, you mentioned it. You've been an authorized dealer for years now, but
Yes.
you are, it's even more now.
It's official.
Yes, another 3 years. Yeah, we started in 2017. Was when we started working with BYD and became their authorized distributors. And just now we have renewed our distributorship agreement for another 3 years. So that means they're happy with the job that we're doing. And we get all their support in terms of getting new vehicles direct from the factory for the export market. And we also get all the support in terms of after the sales.
Right.
Because, we don't forget about you once you drive off the lot. We will be with you for the long term, at least 8 years warranty on your vehicle, all the parts, all the factory trained technicians. So that's part of being an authorized dealer. When you're an authorized dealer, you have to invest a lot. You have to invest in training. You have to invest in the right locations, in showrooms, in parts,
Marketing.
Yes, and keep abreast of developments. We just had somebody from the team go to China for a week-long training session.
Wow.
The dealers are going to be meeting in Shanghai in April. It just goes on and on and on. So it's a big investment to be an authorized dealer. It means that you're up to date, you have all the requirements, you have all the materials and expertise that you need to support the drivers and the cars.
Yeah, and it's all for you, those who drive the vehicles. You have that backing from the manufacturer. 8 years, a promise that they will support that vehicle. And then all of that, all of the wonderful team here at Easy Car Sales, fully trained, fully ready, to service every need. We're right there.
Does this mean that you're the exclusive authorized dealer?
Yes, the only. They don't use, these companies, they don't like to use exclusive, but they use only authorized distributor. Yes, and they're not planning to have any others because this is a small market. You have to realize that it's not very sensible to have multiple dealers for the same brand.
So you only get the 8-year warranty if you purchase from Easy Car Sales.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
We are
only
not.
honor,
We're not allowed to offer warranty on, say, you buy your own car and bring it in, because we don't. That's maybe not directly from the factory. It could have come from a dealership in China through a wholesaler. There is no guarantee. Most of the time, the cars that are being imported directly are Chinese domestic vehicles. That means that they are made differently. They are made specifically for the Chinese market, which is huge, right? So that
different safety requirements, different
the
requirements.
construction itself of the actual chassis can be different,
Totally different,
alloy. And also the language is different.
Right.
For export vehicles are in English so that you could add your apps to the tablet. We can do software upgrades and so forth. If it's in Mandarin, you can't do that. And also Chinese domestic vehicles are blocked from Google, from Apple, from things like that. So it's not like you can just load anything you want into that system.
And another thing is you can get a Yuan Plus in China as a hybrid. You see there are different SKUs that you can get over there. You can get from
and we don't do
gas all the way up to hybrid. We only bring in pure 100% electric
Yeah, we don't do hybrids. We don't do gas because a hybrid is a gas car. I mean, at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want, dress it up,
put lipstick on it.
But electric is electric, and everything else is gas.
So if someone comes to you with a vehicle they brought in themselves or they bought from somewhere else, and they're like, "Well, you're the dealer. Deal with this."
Okay.
What do you say?
No, I mean, we try to help people, obviously. So if they have an issue, then we will evaluate the vehicle, for which there will be a fee. And then if we can help you, because it's maybe a problem with the door and it's the same type of handle as ours, no problem, you know, that kind of thing. I am not going to be giving you parts that I have brought in from my customers. You might have to wait. But I definitely cannot offer you warranty because the warranty is for the vehicles that we import directly from the factory for export.
Are you noticing any issues when someone comes in from a car that wasn't purchased from you?
Dwight. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
We've had a few.
We don't want to get into too much details.
Yeah, we've had a few.
Yes, they've been.
Serious issues?
Not serious like danger to life, serious. But serious for the person who made an investment.
Oh, boy.
You know, they made an investment.
Or a gamble, I don't know.
I don't know. But, so we try to help people because at the end of the day, from day one, from when we started in 2016, our goal is to make electric vehicles ubiquitous, desirable, and practical for this market. So if I can help you, I will. I want you to be happy with your electric car. I don't want you to be unhappy with the BYD you brought in by yourself or bought secondhand or whatever. I don't want you to be unhappy. I want everybody to love their EV. So we will try to assist you, but you're not number one in my list. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and our goal when we started was, because, the Earth is getting a little bit warmer. It hasn't changed. It's gotten a little bit warmer.
We were talking about temperatures here next week.
It's going to be in the 80s.
In February?
In February.
Wow.
Insane.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, take a deep breath. So Donald Trump is the president of the United States again.
Hurrah!
And all over the place, people are saying, well, the electric car thing, that phase, that craze is over because it's drill, baby, drill.
Okay, it may be in the United States. The United States, the people of the United States made a choice. They made a clear choice. They voted for their government, and that's what they're going to have for the foreseeable future.
That's what they're going to live with.
They will have to decide where they are in terms of progress of electric mobility. The rest of the world is moving on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So electric vehicle sales again increased last year over the year before. In the East and in Europe, I mean, electric cars are everywhere. In China, more than 50% of all new cars now are electric, and we're talking about a big market. You know, it's
Fully
1.6
electric,
billion people over there.
Norway is what? 90?
Norway is over 90% now of all new
90%.
cars
Wild.
are electric, or new energy vehicles, because it does include plug-in hybrids. Yeah, compromising.
Yeah, for range anxiety, those
said that with
places.
disgust in
It's a compromise.
It's
you
an
know.
excuse, you know. So, however we personally may feel about the decisions that the American people and their leadership make, it's moving on. So,
moving
are
on.
you on the train or are you not? And in many ways, I think in the United States, so much investment has already gone into it, and people are starting to realize it and love it. So, it's customer driven.
Yeah. But there's so many people influenced by what happens in the U.S. here in the Bahamas. Do you feel that mindsets might shift here as well?
Well, some people are never going to like EVs. Okay, we have discovered that. You know, they have their thing. I don't know, whatever. They don't want an electric car. That's fine. That's your choice, right? And some people are somewhat affected in their mindset. But if you are curious and if you inquire, if you investigate, if you try it, if you talk to people who drive electric, then maybe you can change your mind with facts and information
That's why
instead
tomorrow's
of.
test drive is so important.
Well, that's why the
It won't
test
hurt.
is.
It's a whole new generation, and I don't know how the new young generation feel about it, but you know, these cars with the technical advances, all the gadgets, the wireless charging. I mean, you're like in a cockpit of a starship.
I was just about to say, that's actually where the
so
love
it's
is
really
for
forward
EVs
thinking,
because everything is so technically oriented. So if you look at some of these vehicles, and this is the question I've been dreaming to ask Easy Car Sales, why the BID brand? Like, what separated that? What made that the reason? Like, hey, this is what we want to introduce to the Bahamian public.
Well, we did our research at the time. So, because when we started in 2016, we had the Nissan Leaf.
Right. I loved my Leaf.
And I loved my Leaf. It was pre-owned, you know, so we didn't have any dealership or anything like that for it. And so we said, no, we need to get our own brand so that we can support it and we can offer warranties and we can get parts and, you know, so make it solid and grounded, you know. And when we did our research, we found that BYD had was the most advanced. They have something like 30 patents a day or something are approved. When you go to BYD headquarters, they have them all there. It's an entire building, a wall of patents. They have something like 500,000 people working for them.
Yeah, there are more BYD employees than possibly Bahamians.
They're engineering.
Think about
That's why we chose BYD, and we bet well because last year they became the #1 producer of new energy vehicles in the world.
I always felt like that was one of the calling cards that your marketing campaign could use because a lot of people don't understand the full story of BYD.
Oh, yeah.
The development in the last couple of years and seeing how it's taken off now. Like a country this small with the idea of building that kind of relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Like you see it now in the results where they're not only selling electric cars, but they're educating the public on how it makes a difference.
Yeah, but they started out in storage and solar, battery storage.
And batteries, like batteries for phones and tablets, they still produce half the batteries for
in your
tablets
tablet,
and phones in the world or something. So that's how they started, and that's why they were very knowledgeable about batteries. They have the most advanced battery right now. CATL has also come up with a new battery, but they're different.
Every year there's a
But
new advancement.
The Blade battery is the most advanced in the
So
world.
that's the selling point. If you're thinking about an electric car and you see all of these new things popping up, that's where you lean. You lean on the side of a company that's been doing it, that's developed over time, and try to find ways to exactly.
Yeah, and another reason for choosing BYD is they had the breadth of models. We only had the Nissan Leaf, but then switching to BYD, we had now the T3 van. You know, Cable Bahamas and other businesses are using that. That's driving their business. And then we have sedans, we have hatchbacks, luxury vehicles. So BYD just opened the floodgates for options so that now there's an EV for just about anybody.
And then from the commercial point of view, we brought in Jack Motors that have the flatbeds, the box trucks, the passenger vans, the bigger delivery vans and such. And then we have the pickup from Geely, which is a really nice pickup.
So you could do the work and still be energy efficient. I love
Yeah.
it. I
So
love
from
it.
now we'll have an electric tri-rail to take you from Kemp
do
Road
that
to, from Kemp Road
Fingers
to the
crossed.
airport.
Fingers crossed. All right. So you've got something else very exciting going on.
Oh,
Gosh,
can we
you know,
tell people? Can we tell people that?
We just don't stop,
It's
you know.
a big
like,
secret. No,
no, it's not a
no.
big secret. You can see it now. Do you want to tell them about
Yeah,
it?
so if you were hungry, itching for a bite, and you were at the mall at Marathon near the food court, we're going to be opening our very first BYD in-mall showroom.
Wow.
It's going to be state-of-the-art. They're going to have vehicles there that you can look, you can feel, touch. You'll be able to test drive. And so that's coming soon, hopefully
Yes.
in April.
In the spring.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't say spring just because, you know,
So we're hard at
construction.
work constructing
So
that
that's
right
The
now.
first time it's ever happened in the Bahamas.
First
right?
time
First
ever.
time, yeah. First time there'll be a car dealership in the mall, to my knowledge, you know,
Yeah.
to my knowledge. And
They,
it's,
they often have cars on display, but not.
Right.
Well, we have
an
cars there now
actual
on display. Yeah.
Dealership.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Okay.
BYD has a policy, and they like to have showrooms in the malls. You see them in the States when
Yeah.
you go.
Singapore.
So we will be opening that in the spring, giving us a third location, because now we are at Gladstone Road. We have our Abundant Life Road, big property, and now we will also be at the mall. So a lot of our events and such can happen there as well. And we have a great relationship with the mall at Marathon.
Oh, yeah.
So we're looking forward to that.
That is very exciting.
Yes.
Wow.
You know, we don't stop.
No.
right?
You got the scoop, Dwight. You got the scoop.
So what are some of the things that are going to separate the showroom from the Abundant Life property and the Gladstone Road property?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's the experience, you know, so it's a very interactive sort of
That's
experience.
what I wanted to hear. How immersive is going
Yeah,
to be.
it's immersive.
Yes, very immersive.
It's very rich, plush, high end, comfortable. There's like even a coffee bar involved, and yeah.
So
it's
pin it
different.
down. Second test drive is going to come during the spring grand opening.
Just
Right,
think of it
right.
as like an Apple store, but
Yeah.
for
Okay.
BYD.
Yeah.
I've seen some videos of some of the ones that they have throughout Shanghai and in China. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
So
That's
It's
what
we-
we. It's been designed by Gensler in California. We have to do it at a certain standard and a certain look. So yeah.
Oh, so
And you
the
can go
BYD
there, yeah.
paid. They paid
No,
close
no.
attention.
We pay.
Oh no, not that type of pay.
It's a partnership, yeah.
They had rules that you had to.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yes, they have stringent guidelines.
Yes,
Yeah, okay,
down to
okay.
the last LED
Yeah,
light
'cause
bulb.
we-
yeah.
Oh.
We are a franchise, so there are certain things we have to. But we've patented the term EV genius, so you can go there, meet up with an EV genius, and ask them all the questions. And there's also going to be an in-store charger for the electric
So
car.
that you can see. So you know, we did do the first Apple stores here in the Bahamas,
somebody was
custom
there,
computers, and now we're taking it to the electric car
Okay.
business.
All right. So I know people always have a lot of questions. So let's see what your questions are about BYD, about easy car sales,
And our event on Saturday.
and the event,
yes.
the event on Saturday.
Please come on down.
Give us a call 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Our friends in Abaco asking, ask Pia, when are they coming to do a promotion for Abaco?
It's so funny that this question comes up because we plan the year, obviously, and we travel with the Bahamas Business Outlook.
Yes.
So we just did Nassau. We're going to be in Freeport, Grand Bahama people. Not this weekend, the following weekend, I think it is the 13th. And we're
Which is
going
very
to,
close to Abaco. You could take a ferry ride over there. yeah.
and then we're going to be in Eleuthera at the beginning of April with the Bahamas Business Outlook. And I know that the BBO comes to Abaco in September. Which is kind of an interesting date to be going to Abaco. I feel, you know, in the middle of the hurricane season. But in any event, we are thinking very seriously about coming to Abaco and doing the show.
Okay.
What we have to realize that we have to, you know, ship several cars over there.
Yeah,
It's
so
a
it's logistically
very expensive,
challenging,
and
yeah.
also because we are expanding quite a bit in Grand Bahama and in Eleuthera now, that we don't want to overextend ourselves, but we are planning Abaco later this year. But whenever anybody from Abaco is here, come and visit us in Nassau, because we ship to the islands, and also we do support. We send our people to the islands to do maintenance and support.
Excellent. Okay, so New Providence, small island.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, range anxiety shouldn't exist.
Does not exist.
Right?
We have traffic anxiety,
But
which
for
is good
a bigger
you.
island like Grand Bahama or Abaco,
Yes.
what do you say to people who are
So-
I'm worried?
Yes, and that's, that they've heard that that's something that causes anxiety in other countries. First of all of our consumer vehicles come with your own charger. So you can install your charger at home, you're straight. You plug in whenever you need to. You pay about a quarter of what you're paying in gas now, especially in the family islands.
And then our base models are like 250 miles. Yeah.
So you have a
so you have a lot of
minimum
range.
of 250 miles or more with your vehicle. So that suits most people's needs. We are working now on installing chargers that can be used by shared groups like fleets and apartments and condos. We have those solutions now.
And those are going to be improving in distributions very soon.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that you can have a group of people that share a charger, and they each have an RFID, and it has the software, so you know how much use. So those are coming. Now, in other countries also, you rely on government getting involved in infrastructure projects. So we're hoping that is in the eyesight of our policymakers.
We can't do it alone.
BPL. For fast charging public, solutions that would be really good,
Especially
if we
for
had
those
some-
islands, yeah.
Some leadership in the islands, especially in places where all the solar has been going on. In Abaco, particularly, and in Grand Bahama, where these solar arrays are coming on stream, there should be public fast charging going on.
Yeah.
So I know that the Bahamas, the IDB, Inter-American Development Bank, is working with the government of the Bahamas on these projects. I have no doubt that there are plans for that going on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, they've been talking about that for New Providence, right?
Well, for
At
there to
least a
be
small-
fast chargers, you need to have a stable grid.
Yeah.
And so all of that stuff we're looking at. Yeah.
Okay. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? Hi.
Dwight, I want to check your memory. Remember, I was on the radio some time ago giving details of the electrical cars, and then this lady came right after and stepped up to the plate. The rest is history. You remember that?
Oh, well done, you.
Good for you.
Mary.
So, Dwight,
Very.
I want this lady to help you out now. I know, I hear you all the time crying about traffic jams and the amount of cars on the road. Now, Miss, I want you to help Dwight out with this. I want to be the voice in the Bahamas to come up with this one. The flying electrical car. Help Dwight out, ma'am.
Wouldn't that
Have a
be
nice day.
wonderful? Thank you.
Who's going to be flying them? The same people driving?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
come
boy.
to our event tomorrow. You'll be able to have some test flights.
Yeah, we
as
fly
well.
on the roads right now.
Yeah,
but
right.
It would be lovely. I mean, there are a whole lot of concerns with that
you do
about
feel
air
you're
traffic
floating.
control
Yeah.
and such. But I'm sure one day we will be. I mean, already.
Do we want those?
Electric airplanes, electric ferries,
Yeah.
everything is going electric. I mean, you can't go back to the good old days of the gas guzzler
How
or
good
the
was it?
horse and carriage. Yeah, how good was that, right? We are suffering the consequences today. That is moving along. If you have policies from governments, it's great. It's very helpful because it allows us, the people who are making the investment, who are making the effort, to know where we stand.
I don't see how you could have a lot of discussion on it because our prime minister is everywhere touting the effects
Climate
of
change,
climate
yes.
change. So
Right.
this is a layup, as we call it in the sports space. So
I think the last time you were on the show, you were saying that you'd understood that there were talks about electric buses. Do you know where things stand with that right now?
Yes, I understand that the Ministry of Energy and Transport is working to source and to organize an electric bus system. They probably might start with a pilot program, I guess. But I'm not involved in that.
Right.
I just, know that that's in the works, because stakeholders spent a couple of years with the IDB working on proposals, information, data regarding a plan for electric mobility for the Bahamas. And that report was presented to the government of the Bahamas, and one of the aspects was public transportation, and I think that's what they're looking at as the number one focus.
And one good thing about BYD is they make buses.
Right.
Go to London, you see some double-decker buses. Those are all BYD.
So we have made some connections, and but we're not involved in that. But we would support those vehicles when if it happens.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You also now offer in-house financing. Is that right?
Another secret. You're just releasing all of our secrets, Dwight.
Well,
finally, yes.
We work very well with all the commercial banks. We partner with them all the time.
Yeah.
BOB, as I said, will be there tomorrow at our event at Abundant Life Road. However, some people prefer not to go to the bank or have some reasons not to go to the bank. So we now offer in-house financing up to 8 years. And it's very easy. So you can go online to easy242.com and see what the requirements are, and you will get a response. You can apply online, and you will get a response within 48 hours, working hours. So it's easy, it's quick, it's just a 3-step operation. And Easy Cars always used to offer financing.
Yeah,
you remember from the beginning, 2009.
They say we cut our
Easy
teeth
Car-
on financing.
but
Zero
then
down, yeah.
When we went into the new car business, and we don't sell, used gas cars anymore, we had to go through the Securities Commission to be approved. And so now we're fully approved, and this is what we're doing, and we know what we're doing with financing.
Yeah, excellent. All right. This texter is asking about the durability of electric vehicles. Can they take our roads and accidents, fender
The
benders,
answer
as well
is-
as other cars?
The answer is absolutely yes. As a 8-year veteran, I've been driving them on our pothole, bumpy, and some nice roads for the past 8, going on 9 years. And what people need to realize is that electric cars are engineered not only to support a 700-pound battery pack, which takes up the base of that vehicle, but then you have to add, 4 or 5 peas and rice Bahamians on top of that. So you can imagine carrying all that weight, and that system, that structure has to be robust to absorb those
Sturdy
impacts. Oh, yeah. So of course, yes. So we find that electric cars are more durable. They last longer. In fact, I was so sorry to sell my Leaf after like 5 years because it was in pristine condition. Wow. I just fell in love with a Han. But if it wasn't for the Han, I would still be driving the Leaf. But yeah, so they last long. They're very durable, and there's very little to no maintenance. Basically, tires, windshield wiper fluid. Believe me.
And then once a year service. And
If you
also
remember.
they do safety testing like any other. For them to be able to export, this is the key. For them to be able to export around the world these vehicles, they have to comply or exceed the safety regulations. So you can imagine in Norway, they must have some very strict regulations. So these vehicles are designed to be in the roads in foreign countries.
Yes, snow and the heat, in the floods, you name it.
Oh, yeah, you can go through water. It's okay.
I don't drive through water. I speed through water.
Yeah, wow.
I don't- yeah.
But if you look around, you can see a lot of Bahamians have decided to go electric.
Oh, they're everywhere.
And they love them,
Do you have any numbers like what the market penetration?
my
I mean, it's not just BYD, not just your brands,
People-
but you can see the tons of.
Well, if the government would
Teslas
have
here,
some-
they're all manner of electric
statistical-
vehicles. Do you not have any numbers?
We only have our own numbers because statistics are not really up to date, sadly, that we have received. When we were in these discussions for a year or two about policy for electric mobility, the figures that were coming out were not realistic. So we have sold over or around 1,000 EVs so far. We assume that people have brought in quite a few of their own.
500 more, I would say.
And then, so yeah, it's growing. In the rest of the world, the penetration is about 10% or so of all cars. Here, we're about at that level as well, maybe
In
9.
the new car market, yeah.
In the new car market.
Right,
So
right.
it's moving fast. You see them everywhere. You know, it's so funny because in the beginning, if I saw a BYD, I would go like, oh,
I would flash my lights, you know.
Right.
and
But
we
now
would
there's
hail
like-
each
there's
other,
so much.
you know. we would
Now,
just
if you
hail-
do it, people look at you funny, like, what?
I
what-
know.
what-
They're all
what-
over, you know,
what's
they're
your-
all over.
I did that the other day.
You
I
can't
saw
hear
a
them, but
face
you
like
see
that,
them.
And they
Yeah.
looked at me like I was complete nutcase.
Yeah, they probably
Wow.
utilized some torque right then.
So it's
there.
it's becoming much more common to see electric vehicles. And the thing about it is I ask people if I'm in the food store and I see
Lord.
somebody parking an EV or whatever, I ask people, how do you like your EV? Many times they don't know. They got it even from me because I'm not there all the time. And I love it.
People
I
love
don't
their
I don't miss going to the gas station. It's so nice, you know. So I think everybody wants an EV. We just have to make it accessible to them.
And that's why we have our event tomorrow. Fall in love with BYD. Come on down. Get a test drive. And you could be entered to win 2 nights at the Grand Hyatt Bahama.
It's super nice.
Oh, my goodness.
I stayed there once. It was lovely.
Yeah.
Just for driving an EV. Wow.
Don't forget the 500 resort credit.
Yeah.
That's also a big
Yeah.
deal.
You could spend it
get
on
you
anything
about,
you
what,
want.
2 drinks?
Oh, boy.
I know which bar you go
Chicken
to
wing.
first.
All right. So at one point, people would say that the price is the issue. I just can't afford it. But that is
No, that's
not
out the
an
window.
excuse.
That's
so
not
much
the
anymore,
case
right?
anymore, really. Our vehicles start at like 30K, 30,000, maybe a little less. And we are also getting some of our owners upgrading. So they're bringing in their 3 to 5 year old BYD and upgrading to something bigger or different, newer. So we sometimes have some of those vehicles, and the warranty travels with the car.
Ah, okay.
So if
Yeah.
there's 3 years left, you can
Yeah.
get it. So once it comes from the authorized dealer, the warranty stays with the car. So they start at 30K. Financing, I'm telling you, 300 and a little bit from BOB per month, and no gas money. I mean,
It's a big
I
savings.
don't know. you
Yeah,
know.
and our in-house financing starts at $499, and that's before you take out your gas bill for the month.
So that's what you have to realize is when you're paying your loan, you can apply your gas money, and what you will spend on electricity will be a quarter of what you're spending on gas now.
Yeah, I've invested all of my gas money into my solar panels that are going up right now as we speak. I hope my solar guy is listening.
Good for
Call
you.
me.
All right. So this is a very long essay. Get ready. Get ready. Here's the text. Electric cars are the Bahamas' next environmental disaster.
Oh, there we go.
We have shown we are unable to handle computers, vehicles, and other batteries. We can't manage anything environmental, so these will only add to our issues as they age and need repairs and battery replacement. We have been great at copying and following the crowd, but be they wrong or right, but we have no real strategy for the electrification of our transportation. If we did, we would need very few cars, as our bus and transport system would eliminate the need for them. We have no real written policies, and that can be referenced for anything. So what do you say to that?
Yes, I mean, I agree with a lot of that. I do. I agree with a lot of that. There are no clear policies, even though proposals have been made and are sitting on the table. Policies are always very important because then we know what the rules of the game are, you know, and how we're going to play it. In terms of environmental disaster, I think that the Bahamas has a general problem with garbage, full stop.
And
Okay?
derelict vehicles.
Derelict
Do they want to
vehicles,
try to solve
garbage.
that problem first before they tackle
I mean,
the EVs?
we are
please?
not good at cleaning up from our yard all the way to anything else you're talking about. I walk along the foreshore every morning, and you should see the amount of garbage on the side of the road. I agree. We in the Bahamas have a problem with disposing of garbage, whether it be an old vehicle or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, with regard to the batteries we must, again, as an authorized dealer, return the batteries for recycling. So we are responsible for the recycling of our batteries if and when they fail, they run out, whatever. They don't break like that, you know. Failure rate of batteries is very small, if maybe 1%. So we have to be responsible, and we, as a corporate citizen, as people who live here and want to maintain things in order and clean, we will be responsible. Now, I don't disagree with him that people are bringing in electric vehicles, and maybe one day we'll be leaving them on the side of the road as they are leaving the big gas car with 1,000 more parts in it than an electric car on the side of the road. So we as a nation have to have policies. The New Providence Eco Park has been increasing the recycling capabilities and operations. You can recycle all the computer and tech materials there, batteries, bottles, cans, plastic, and whatever. I'm sure there will be a day where that will also be facilitated if we have policies, if we have a plan. But you can't say we are not moving forward into the future to something more efficient, something that empowers you as an individual more, because you keep more of your money, you're not tied to the gas pump, so everything comes with its pros and cons, but you can't just write it off because we have a garbage problem in this country.
Yeah, great point. Final call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Hi.
Hello.
We just came to you. Okay. So remind folks about tomorrow.
Yes, fall in love with BYD. Come down to our East-West Highway location. Please use the Solomon's entrance. We're going to be there from 11 to 4 p.m. There are going to be eats and treats from Amplify. You can get your sea moss. Oh, these are so good. Sea moss smoothies of different flavors. We're going to have the new Duff there with all the varieties of Duff. I thought there was just one. And I can't pronounce this.
Flamingo. It's actually a really cool name,
Awesome.
And then also we're going to have our partners, BOB, Bank of Bahamas,
for
there.
financing.
A whole team
On the
will
spot,
be there to give you on-the-spot financing and answer any of your questions.
And free food for the first 100?
No, 50 people taking a
I
test
thought
drive.
you
Calm
said
down.
100.
No, calm
I was
down.
bringing my cousin, my auntie. Oh, okay.
Still bring them.
And then
That's
we
right.
launch our month-long promotion, which is anyone taking a test drive, whether tomorrow or any time in February, will be entered to win the lovely two-night stay at the Grand Hyatt Bahama, which is really a nice experience with $500
Does
to
that
spend.
include a massage as well?
You could spend your $500
There you go.
however
There
you
you
want.
go.
There you go.
And people are asking, existing BYD drivers and owners can take part in this
Yes,
test
because
drive?
you might fall in love with a new model.
Mhm, these are the 2025s.
Actually, we like our owners to come because many times people who want to ask questions, they like to speak with an EV owner, and that's what we recommend. You speak to somebody who drives it.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So, this sounds great, and it's going to be a wonderful month with BYD. Thank you for being here this morning, Pia
Thanks for
Farmer
having
and
us.
Sean Grisette.
It's been a pleasure, as
great
always.
talking
We
with
always
you.
have a great
Yeah.
time here. Nice to meet you, Ricardo.
Nice to meet you all.
The world was a different place the last time we were here. It's totally different
Well,
now.
my goodness.
Well, it's all about change.
But Dwight has remained the same. I just got to send him some
Consistency.
texts in the morning to calm down sometimes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate those.
He shows up every day. They tell him
I don't know how he does it. I just don't know.
Oh, boy. Anyway, thank you all for being this morning. We're going to take a quick break and wrap things up. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth. so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner with increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools. Take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
What? You don't know what TDC is? Tourism Development Corporation? You mean the Ministry of Tourism? No, that ain't the same thing, but the Tourism Development Corporation helps to develop and grow behemoth businesses in the tourism industry. You hear what I say, boy? Oh, yeah. Develop and grow. You don't know what all the things saying do? What does do?
Check the website, boy. Start your journey to ownership of our #1 industry today. Log on to tdcbahamas.com.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options. And let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Bahamas Bar Association President Khalil Parker is saying at the University of Bahamas' legal week that legislators need to get ready, if they're not ready now, for the Freedom of Information Act to become law. Parker discussing the importance of FOIA in enhancing democracy in the Bahamas, emphasizing that informed political decisions require accessible information, and he criticized the current political system's lack of transparency and accountability. Read about that in today's Guardian business section. Energy and Transport Minister JoBeth Colby-Davis says that the electrification of Potters Key Dock will be complete within 6 months to the end of the year. Colby-Davis speaking to reporters at the unveiling of BPL's generator at Potters Key Dock. Details on that in today's Guardian business section as well. And SuperValue hoped to launch its digital loyalty program by the end of this month, but they've had several issues with the new system. SuperValue President Deborah Simonet telling Guardian Business that the store has been trying to get rid of paper stamps before switching systems completely. Now they're just trying to get over a few, quote, little humps. In your recapping trading of the BISX, in your market watch, you got Bank of the Bahamas trading 100 shares on Thursday, closing at $4.40 unchanged. Finco moving 100 unchanged at $15. Consolidated Water up 3 cents, closing at $5.24. Emira Incorporated up 10 cents, closing at $9.36. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,097.72, up 0.13. That's your market watch, and that's your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. Ricardo Wells, that's going to do it for us.
It's been a long day. A long day. But tip of my hat to you. I don't know how you keep showing up. all the best.
Well, you guys on the accredited make it look pretty easy as well. And everyone can tune in tomorrow, 11 a.m. right here on Guardian Radio for another new episode. And hopefully you'll be a part of the family for a long, long time.
Looking forward to it.
So don't forget, folks, the accredited at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'll be back on Monday with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day. Have a great weekend. I'll see you in February. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.